What's up, everyone? We are back for another episode of Spin from the Real, and once again, I am Matt, and joining me, as always, is the personality, Chris Anthony Lopez.
Woo!
And Shug.
What is up, everybody? How you guys doing today? Hope everyone had a good weekend. It was a crazy weekend with the pay-per-view. We had some matches this week that were crazy. We got some news that was crazy, some sad news in the Schmodown, and we're going to talk about it. Let's get it going, man. I'm super excited to talk about all this stuff. Right, Chris?
Yeah, no, I just got done watching a Jim Henson video on YouTube. It made me really sad. So I'm ready to talk some Schmodown, baby. I see the spinster of all spinsters, Taylor Cleek in the chat. What's up, brother? You're a spinster. We're all spinsters over here. So we're doing.
Sure, you got something you wanted to play, right? I was surprised you didn't say it at my intro for you guys.
Oh yeah. Let's get this.
Let me redo this. Introducing Chris Anthony Lopez and Shug.
Viva Mexico, cabrones!
Let's go. That's how we do it. Let's roll.
Every show I go on from this point forward, it has to start with that. I refuse to do anything else. And of course, the first show I have to I move my flag to my living room. I need to switch things up. It's in my living room right now.
So,
which one, was that just yours, or did you have one too?
Oh, look who's in the chat.
Oh, what's up, Mike? What? Our wizard, bro. I'm ready to climb that ladder again. Coming for the championship. Yeah. Oh, RTS.
Sorry about that.
That's a thing. That's a thing that's happening.
Coming back this Friday.
Corey Cameron. Yeah, Corey Cameron in the chat. Is that kid like me?
Yeah.
Dude, we have some special guest today. I decided to, start sweating 5 minutes into the show. So we're all good. We're good. I'm not nervous at all. I'm just looking forward to having some folks on. This show's getting nuts. We're 2.5 minutes in. What are you talking about? Last week, was it? No, I will never forget how the show we had Marisol on. Oh, that was so funny. Like that show. I think that's when we finally ushered in just nonsense into the show. Obviously, Spin from the Real, no stranger to garbage and BS. Oh, but
and this is how Chris feels anytime it happens.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Yo, because I'm out here just trying to just do a show, and then Shug's out here shaking some of the best ass I've seen in my 23 years of living. And he put it in the private chat like, oh yeah, my back and my knees hurt. And it was so worth it. It was so worth it.
My knees were killing me, man. Let me tell you, I can't drop it like it's hot like I used to anymore.
Obviously,
I used to back in the day. I used to drop it like it's hot, and I can't do it anymore because them D's about to give out.
Them what? The knees, bro?
Yeah.
I'm like one Popeye biscuit away from being a tight end. Okay.
Yo, what are you eating right now, Popeye biscuit? What are you munching on right
Dude,
now?
So I went to this is like the Latino Sunday comes out of me. I went to the swap meet this weekend, and this is like crack for me.
What is that? What is it like? Those
like a sour blue raspberry.
Yeah, they're just like no, they're not licorice. They're just like these flat things, and they put sugar and they're sour. Mm-hmm. I'll eat like 4 of these bags in like one day if they.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Bro, you never had you remember those Airbud sour strips? Kind of, it's like that, but it's just
sour strip. They're sour strip. Yeah.
Oh, like the Airhead, the rainbow ones.
But these are exactly. These
are the
just
specific
color
flavor.
But they're from a swap meet, so they're from Mexico.
You know they're good.
So there's like some crack in them, and you eating these damn things. And I'm like, I bought like 3 bags yesterday, and I bought 4, and 2 of them are gone already.
Damn.
So I'm on my 3rd bag. Yeah, it's bad. It's like crack, man. You can't put these things. The other ones are sour apple. Oh, they're amazing.
Oh hell, damn, dude.
So good.
I
can't wait. I can't wait till you come to Cali, Chris and Matt, because we're gonna go to the swap meet. We're gonna go to the beach. We're gonna go to all kinds of cool places. Taylor's gonna be out here with us. The Ranger's gonna be out here. I'm gonna take the Ranger to the strip club. He's gonna get all the girls for us to bring back to my house.
I don't think
it's gonna be amazing.
Ranger
does. Real. Yeah, absolutely does. I can see it in his eyes. I think I've seen him at the club a couple times.
You seen the Rager at the club, man? I mean,
I just didn't know who he was.
Life was so much better
know
when
who-
the Rager wasn't around.
I heard he's the heir to the Playboy Mansion, so we'll see.
He's the heir.
That's why he's got the kimono.
Oh my god, he like Hugh Hefner's son on some real shit, man.
Illegitimate son.
Illegitimate. Yo.
All right.
We'll have to talk. We'll have
to see the Ragers.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Like no one's. Like I think if you see the Rager, like if he sees his own shadow, we'll get like 3 more weeks of summer. Like it'd be like one of those. Like it's like reverse Groundhog Day. But we'll talk about Rager when. Actually, I prefer to not talk about the Rager anymore. Can we just talk about something like nice and cool?
How about his faction mate, which is kind of why I keep that up that way. Let's talk about our first match. We are doing matches out of order today because we do want to talk about the Star Wars match with our special guest later on. So, with that being said, we're going to start off with the IG match from earlier this week, and that is Taylor Robinson versus Greg Idris Elba.
Yeah, okay. First of all, I love Greg Elba. And with the stuff, the Real Rejects, I thought they were such a delight into this league. The last week on the show, I believe, I don't know if all 3 of us did. I think Matt, we did poorly last week in predictions, by the way, like incredibly poor.
I went 3 of 5. You went 2 of 5, and Shug went 4 of 5.
Yeah,
who did I lose?
You bet on Marie instead of Gold Leader.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't get me started. Don't even get me started on that shit.
We'll get there.
Because I am pissed about that match, and I have a lot to say about it. So don't get me started on that.
We'll talk about that when our guest gets here.
And I know Taylor. I know the Rangers agent is in the chat, and he's probably going to say something. I don't give a damn. I don't care if Christian Harloff's in the chat. I have a lot to say about that match. I'm pretty pissed off about it. So, let's keep it moving.
Yeah. So inner geekdom. So Taylor Robinson, friend of the program, versus Greg Elba.
Yes.
We haven't had Greg on yet. Hopefully one of these days. But I think the talking point of that whole match was the ending with Taylor Robinson. But Leo Logan points out a great point that that the Exchange's 8-game winning streak ended with at least, I think we can say this in confidence, a controversial 5. And what's new? It's the movie Trivia Schmodown.
Which is so weird of why I'm pissed off about the Marie and Gold Leader match is, I get controversial, but the 5s are supposed to be literally either not impossible, like you got a shot to answer it if you know the movie,
but it shouldn't be that easy.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that easy. So I get I understand where you're coming from, Chris, because we were talking about it off camera. You were saying that the 5, was a throwaway.
It was nuts. It was nuts. Like it was
movie. And I haven't seen Bloodshot, so I won't comment on the question. But that's what the 5 should be. I think the 5 should be like that. You pointed out when Rick Radis played, and you made your joke. Oh, it's about nice dinosaur. Good dinosaur. Why did I say nice dinosaur? Good dinosaur. But it was a real tough question. Though that to me, I like when it's something like that. And so I get the controversy. I understand it. I'm not gonna, say that I swing either way, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay if the 5 is tough like that. But she had a chance, it's tough on her. It sucks. And yeah, it ends the Exchange's winning streak. And this is gonna show how good the Exchange is, because can they get back on that horse of the winning streak? Or was it just circumstances really helped them propel in that 8-game win streak? Sports reference, it's strength of schedule. Let's see now what happens. Because we obviously we'll talk about Danger Zone, Rushmore, and we'll see what happens for the rest of the year. So we'll see what happens. But go ahead, Matt. Would you want to comment on that match?
Nah, you nailed it. I mean, like I said up top, neither of them played their best, but at the same time, with that being said, that's kind of what made it interesting, because it was a little bit of back and forth. And then we get to her 5, and I even was like, wait, what? And then I've had multiple people tell me since, and this, here, as now a question writer for the FCL, question writers only human, don't come at the question writers. But that felt more like a 10 than a 5. Like, I'm going to be honest, it felt like a 10.
So Shug, you mentioned Radis's 5 from when he played Peggy at the pay-per-view a few weeks ago. Look, and that 5, I think in regards to difficulty, like that feels like a 5 because it's a pool of films. Granted, it's Pixar and they've been rocking since like the mid 90s. Okay, you know, there's a lot of movies to pick from. They only gave you a couple names. All right, cool. And it's voices, not faces. So it's hard. It's even more difficult to distinguish. But this mother chucking 5, I don't even remember the verbiage of the question.
Hold up,
But,
I'm gonna pull out my phone because it was texted to me.
Word. So I'm over here like I was baffled, and I've seen Bloodshot once. So again, I can't even comment. I didn't know the question. I wouldn't be able to answer.
What is the name of the air base? That is. And the answer is Chiron. What's the name of the air base that they have to go to or something around those lines?
Sure.
And it's on the screen for 3 seconds.
Okay. And and Radis's 5 is him picking a movie from a catalog.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, it was the most obscure film, hence why I was memeing it so hard when I first heard it. But that seemed a little crazy as hell. But again, like what Matt said, I'm going to echo his sentiments. I'm not going to blame the writers. I don't want to become that person where it's like, oh, the writers gave Taylor the harder question. But like, they have a bunch of 5-point difficulty questions. They just gave her the one that seemed to be more difficult than others. And look, I mean, some of my favorite people are out here winning matches against people that are getting these harder 5s. If I was a super big Greg Alba stan, I'd be sitting here like, yay! Like I'd be over the moon right now because my man just won. But like, yo, I love Greg. I think Greg's great. I think the Mercs are awesome. But I'm like obviously, I chose Taylor last week with a little bit of bias, and she just got the more difficult 5. So I'm over here just a little bit booty hurt. But I'm not going to condemn the writers for this. They get more than enough shit on a weekly basis.
I get where you're coming from, Chris, and this is going to go into my rant when it comes to the Star Wars match. I think we need to change the narrative with that. I don't see the problem with questioning something and questioning a question. If you're attacking the question writers, like they're not doing their job, they're this and that.
Hold that thought, Leo. I'll get there.
I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm not okay with that. Sorry. I'm not okay with that if you're attacking them personally. But if you're just saying, hey, I just don't feel like this question was a 3-pointer. I don't feel like this question is a 5-pointer. That's just stating your opinion. It's just like in sports when a ref makes a call. How many times? Look at the Suns versus the Lakers, and LeBron goes down like he got shot. Look I'm a LeBron fan. I'm a Laker fan, but that was the worst acting I've ever seen. No wonder he's in Space Jam. Because Jesus Christ,
can't wait.
And so, sometimes you just don't like the call. That just happens in a sport. You just don't like the call, and that's what we got to look at. These 2, 3, 5-pointers, they're like calls. Sometimes they don't go your way. Sometimes you pick the right number, and it's the question. Sometimes you pick the wrong number, and you have never heard of that movie, and it's all subjective because, like I said with the Ben Bateman, his 5-pointer 1408, I knew that. I don't know anything,
right?
But I knew that. Okay,
right.
So it's subjective. So I understand sometimes we do look at questions and we kind of question them, but it's not an attack on the writers. It's not an attack on the system. It's just, I didn't feel this, or you know what, this question to me seemed a little easier than that person's question. As fans, we're allowed to do that, and I think that's okay as long as you're not coming at question writers so hard. I think it's okay to question a question, but not criticize a question or to tell them they're stupid or they're wrong or da-da-da-da. Like, I'm not going to criticize the 5-pointer in the Marie and a goal leader match, but
not just yet.
But there's a difference. And that question was horrific, was softer than freaking Matt's tissue that he wipes his ass with. I mean,
hold the thought. Christ. Wait till our guest gets here. We'll talk about Marie.
I know. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited right now. That match pissed me off. I'm sorry. It's
okay. It's okay. But in regards to Leo's comment, unless Matt, you wanted to add something to that.
No.
Before I change the discourse. Okay. I love Tom Dagnino. I love Bobby Finstock. I think the Finstock Exchange has had themselves one hell of a year. And yes, they may not be at the top of the standings. I think a lot of talking points and a lot of great beats are coming from the Finstock Exchange, and they're proving a lot of folks wrong. Jesse Swift in the chat. Chris, that's a look. Thanks. Fancy fucking here. Yo, just trying. I'm trying, brother. But for your faction mate too, Jesse. That's what's up. But Tom exposed himself in this match. If he already hasn't, maybe I just been blind and I've had my rose-colored glasses on. I know people out here seeing me with different glasses every week. Like maybe I have my rose-colored glasses on for the Finstock Exchange matches. But if Tom's not managing a player who's been in the game and has been playing at a high level consistently for years, he doesn't know how to manage them. And this is where people start to give flack to Bobby Finstock. Maybe not the whole exchange, but to Finstock and the Gucci as a manager and as a personality. This is coming from a person who I think Finstock is the best manager of all time. I truly think so. I will be the first person to tell you that. But I'm also the guy who loves character and loves personality. And my love to Gucci is leaning a lot towards that. Is he the best strategy-wise? My man can barely tune into a match sometimes.
I would push back on that because strategy-wise, he's played it smart a decent amount of the time. It's just I think
look
when
at
it comes
his players, dude.
I know, but look at how he handled Radis and how he's handled Bushcar. Like I think when it comes to IG, he's a little bit out of his element because it's more focused. Sure, Star Wars is very focused, but that's only 12 movies you got to worry about.
Word.
And when you have IG, you're thinking of 300 plus movies. And
no, totally. And Inner Geekdom, we've said on this show multiple times, all of us, and saying Inner Geekdom is still incredibly difficult and got way more difficult going into this season. So it's hard to get a grasp on that. But in regards to knowing your players and helping them out, spinning away from Batman, a tighter category, like that's not too hot.
Here's what I'll also say, and this is the next one I was going to get in my statement, is when it's come to the specialized superhero category, Spider-Man, Superman, we've seen some tough questions.
Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, and I'm going to be honest with you. This might get a little controversial. I'm just going to say it right now. Maybe Tom Dagnito has a hard time managing women because he had this problem with Emily Rose.
Holy hell!
No,
okay.
It's
go
not.
Go ahead.
No, I
got to turn my air on, so I got up.
It's about to get hot. No, I'm being serious. He's managed great players, and he's done well, but there has been an issue with Emily Rose last year, Jacobson, and now this year with Taylor Robinson. There's been kind of an issue.
But again, I'll point to the Barbarian match, which is one you can say he was questionable managing also. If you want to look at this, what's the through line? Emily Rose, Barbarian,
IG,
Taylor.
Yeah,
exactly.
IG. Yeah. So it could, and like I said, I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just pointing out this fact because if you look what Tom has done in this league, he's managed great players. Managed Roca, Dan Murrow, Ben Bateman, and he's gotten to top. Barbarian. He's done well with these people. But when it comes to women, he has a hard time. And
go ahead, Sean.
And
Corey just brought up a great point. Is managing women or adapting
Yeah, I think that's it. The second one, adapting to their personality.
And I know PJ was telling me about this when we were talking. He's like, personality-wise, you can see Taylor belongs probably on another faction, not the Exchange. Because when you've seen all the other players he's had, they all have had this crazy especially this season, crazy out there, interesting personality.
They're big. They're a lot. Yeah.
Taylor's just a sweetheart in general. And that's based off of the times we've been lucky enough to talk to her, seeing how she was on camera, all watching her channel. Finally, Taylor, go watch that.
The cutscene before the match this past Friday. Yeah. She stuck out like a sore thumb, and she does stick out in the exchange, not because of her gender,
but because she's a sweetheart compared to most of the other people.
But she's not goal leader, and she's not Radish, she's not Roca, JTE.
She's not Lomas.
Yeah,
she's like very good person. I want to see more of her, and it's just one of those things. You got maybe could just be the fit.
I can see her thriving under a Koi, under a Kate, under a Roxy. I could see her thriving under those people.
Right.
Under Gucci, I feel like Gucci's personality when it comes to competitors that are very quiet, or sometimes he just has a hard time connecting with them. We saw this in the Emily Rose match, kind of the same thing when she got spinner's choice, and then she couldn't. If they should have had a plan going in, and should know, like when you hear Shannon talk to her players, okay, we talked about this. This is one of the slices that we possibly thought we can get. Is there something else we want out there? No. Yes, there is, but there's a chance we get something. You know what? Let's stick with, there's always a plan. With Gucci, when he manages a Roka or a JTE, they already have the plan. He kind of just sits back and lets them do it.
Right.
But with people like Taylor, he when he tries to do the same thing, they don't have that plan because they're trying to lean on him for him to have that plan. I think that's where he's falling short with these players. So I think that's one of Gucci's issues.
I want to bring up what Jesse said right here. I can understand that, but for something that specialized, like I said, it's only 12 movies. These people just have to know those 12 movies back and front, like you know what I mean. So Gucci automatically can be like, you know what, I'm going to defer to them. We're going to talk about what their strengths and weaknesses are, what they're most comfortable with, because they still go. Every manager and player does this. They find out the wheel. They kind of mark off what they feel most comfortable with, and you go based off of that plan. So he's still managing them to a certain degree,
right?
But I can understand what Jesse's saying here also.
No, and I do agree with what Jesse's saying. Like Star Wars, we have seen cases of managers affecting certain players' gameplay, and with our guests in a few minutes, he will definitely be the first person to say that. At least I like to think so. But the through line with all these matches, right? We're seeing the Rokas, the JTEs, the Barbarians. Yes, even though Craig lost, the Barbarians still put on one hell of a performance. Damon just played better than him that day. And Radis, let's be frank, one time Radis got his strength of fist, the second time he had to spin away and didn't get a category he wasn't too comfortable of. Granted, he still did a decent job at it. But with Taylor, it may just be adapting to her personality, or even her adapting to his. Because I apologize. I've said that a few times already.
Yeah, that's the first one
with Finstock and with what Bobby Gucci is doing, Bobby Gucci thrives with other folks who are like him, at least with the big personalities, like what you were saying, Matt. And someone like Taylor, I don't want this to sound disrespectful that I'm talking.
No,
talking
that's what I'm saying.
her.
That's why I made it just straight up. She's a sweetheart. The personality just doesn't fit the rest of the faction. She belongs in the league. I hope she maybe later this season around the trade deadline, maybe beginning of next season. I want to see her on a different faction because I think she'll thrive more there. There's no shots at the exchange. I just think she needs to be somewhere where she can be herself. She doesn't have to worry about being the heel.
She went to the wrong faction in the draft, right. and I know that I don't want to bring up the whole.
We're not going to bring up the draft night,
but when she was drafted to the exchange, there was a lot of discourse about it, not about her, but about who drafted her and when she was drafted. But obviously, Taylor's good at inner geekdom. She's good at movie trivia. There's no doubt about it. And she just had an off game. When's the last time she's played in the movie trivia Schmodown?
3 years ago.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. And this is her first match back. And Greg, he hasn't competed too much in inner geekdom either. But it's two solid performances, and I don't want to beat up on Taylor too much. I know she's probably beating herself up about this match, but I think that 5 didn't do her any justice. Getting away from Batman, because who the hell knows? We can talk if, ands, or buts about second round categories all damn night. We could sit here and think, oh, she should have went with this, but it's the luck of the wheel. Corey Cameron in the chat saying her promo was very Finstock-ish though. And I totally get
promo,
that.
Though you can coach a promo, but when you look at her in-game reactions and play, you were getting Taylor.
So and she's not like Roka.
She's not a natural heel.
Roka's a big personality, and obviously the Outlaw plays a part. JTE, big personality. Lomas, Radis, all these folks coming in big. Goal leader even, but Taylor, I wouldn't equate to that. At least not yet. And if she stays at the Finstock exchange, then maybe she can maybe even lean into all this tomfoolery that's going down in the exchange. But as of right now, I don't think that the stuff with Taylor and Gucci is molding too well. And I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves when we talk other factions and what they're going to do later with some players leaving. But I do expect some trades happening. I do. I anticipate some trades happening in the next few months. And I wouldn't be surprised if Taylor's one of those to go. Not that she's getting traded away, but someone else can do a better job with her. Like, I think Shig nailed down the head. I would love to see her with the Mercs. Granted, the Mercs is just a geeky faction to be a part of. I think Taylor fits well in there. I would love to see her with Roxy. I would love to see her with the Stars. But again, like, it's all if, answer, buts. But in regards to this one match, that 5 really bit her in the ass. And it was one tough-ass 5, but that's the game. That's what they signed up for. That's what we signed up to watch. And it was just, someone we like got a tough question, and we're booty hurt about it. That's really what it boils. At least for me, I'm speaking for myself. That's what it boils down to. Like, and I guarantee if any of the other folks that I like in the Schmodown or that I'm a fan of in the Schmodown got a crappy 5, then I'd be super booty hurt about it too. And this is, it's unfortunate, but not to take away from Greg though. Not to take away from Greg either. Like, and I know for the longest time he was in John's shadow because he's the free-for-all MVP, like John Humphrey. Oh my God. And he really proved himself in Inner Geekdom last year, and I'm glad he's back in it this year, proving even more so why he's a worthy, I don't want to say worthy, why he's a great piece to a faction, being able to play teams and in Inner Geekdom. And he's pretty darn good at it. Is he beating the Inner Geekdom champion anytime soon? Probably not.
He almost did, though. Don't forget that. He almost did.
Right. And
he almost did. He took him to his 5. You could not take that. So
now if I can embrace my little corrupty real quick, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't. And like that's something that I'm out here. Like, Greg won the match. Let's not take away from Greg's victory. We can say all this crap about Taylor's 5. Greg won the match fair and square.
Yes.
As far as we're concerned, all the rules are written down in the rule book. Greg won the match. And I don't know who you'll play next, but I am anticipating both of their next matches, especially with the quality of play in Inner Geekdom this year. Inner Geekdom has been really damn good, and the match quality has been really good, in my opinion. But we'll see when like this. I know I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but with Moose Haas and Whitnaben, maybe winner loser of that plays winner loser of Alba Robinson. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows?
I think I know, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Oh, because I know my man's out here in the black market Schmodown, no
trading for secrets.
Right, he's trading some ass shaking for secrets.
Like, it just know that maybe Greg will be playing an Apex Predator, maybe.
Apex, Randy Orton? Like, is he?
I was like, hey, are you here? I hear voices.
I'd cry. I would cry. I think I would. Yeah, I would cry at Schmodown St. Louis. Like, I'd pop hard for that, really damn hard. But and the fact that this is a good week for Inner Geekdom. Again, don't get too far ahead of ourselves. I know we're waiting for our guest, and the Star Wars match definitely was what we expected, sans Shug's feelings about certain question. And the tag match. Do we want to? We could start the tag match.
Yeah, we can start the tag match. Here's what I'll say. JTE proved he is he's the best player in the exchange right now.
JT,
he missed less questions than Roka, and he's killing it. Like, you can't take that away. It was a great match, but
right.
If Roka doesn't miss those two,
the Finstock Exchange had themselves a rough week. I thought they were going to take the week. Something about the Finstock Exchange made me feel good last week, and obviously bit me in the butt. How about that? And with Gold Leader and his performance, and after Taylor's loss that Thursday, watching Rushmore go into this, they had themselves one hell of a tournament, beating the damn who would they play the first match? I already forgot.
It was
Press Room.
I was about to say we had the thing.
Yeah,
here,
press
room, and then Lightning Time.
And then Lightning Time. To me, like, that Lightning Time victory, I thought that cemented them at least. I mean, they pushed Danger Zone to their 5, but I still thought, I'm like, yo, Rushmore's looking damn good, because at Lightning Time, I had they weren't my favorite to win. I thought the winner was going to come out of the right side, and I mean, I wasn't too far off. But Lightning Time was a team on paper. I'm like, they're going to be really damn good. And when Rushmore beat them the way they did, like, Grant, spins on the wheel aside. Like, yo, Rushmore's where the party's at, and JTE is nothing to scoff at either. All the JTE slander is gone. All of it should be gone. I don't want to hear any more JTE slander for the rest of the year.
Is it though?
Says the man who slandered that pick the most when it happened.
Yo, because I to go back to Shook's thing, I have every right to question someone who's been away from the game for a while. I'm the same person that I'd question Mark Knopic when she came back. So I'm like, yo, I'm not saying that these people are bad or that they're underwhelming by any means. I was just curious into their performance. So when JTE plays with the Exchange, like, okay, cool. I'm going to see how that goes. He's top 3. All right, bet. Because we thought that the third spot was going to go to a guy who was doing some things with them last year, but now he's all quirky and stuff. But let's talk to the man of the hour over here.
Shug.
Oh, is he here?
We have he's here.
Is the champ here?
He's
here.
The one that took down the one that said they couldn't be beat. Oh, this is my main man right here. Look at I have said since they met this guy, he's one of my favorite competitors. And I am so excited to have him here. I was super happy to see him not once, but twice beat the unbeatable. And the second time he did it with a smile, which was amazing. I loved it. Let's welcome him in. That's the Star Wars champ, Andrew Demolanta.
Champ is here.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Well, Andrew.
I love that. I love it.
Man.
I love it.
Yo,
Nice.
what's going on, Andrew? You good, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing good.
Yeah. Pleasure to see
Oh, that
you.
belt looks so nice. Oh, it looks so nice right there.
Yeah.
It looks so nice.
Yeah,
And-
I keep having
ahead, sorry.
to move it around, like, because like in for our show it's on the desk, and then it's like for other shows it's just shot's not wide enough, so I gotta like put it up here. It's like it won't fit on the shelf, so it's like, oh, I gotta find another way to put
Bigger
it.
shelf. You gotta find a bigger shelf. Change it all up.
Just wear
I need
it.
the money for diapers. I can't spend money on a shelf.
Just wear it on your waist, drape it on the shoulder.
It won't-
You're the
It
Star
won't
Wars
fit on my
chick.
waist. Like
It won't
it won't fit on my waist. It's so it doesn't fit like the other belts do, and it is so awkward to hold. It is like Alex like, when he sent it to me, he's like, if you find a good way to hold that thing, let me know. I was like, okay. There isn't. It's so awkward. So.
Word.
I think it's probably because it's the most curved of all the belts.
It is because it doesn't bend like the other ones do. Because usually there's like a space right here to where the belt can fold over your shoulder. It doesn't do like that. And like it's a great looking belt. It's one of the ones like I don't think they should ever replace it. And Christian has said that he doesn't want to replace it because it's unique to the division. So, but I just wish it was. Sure. Yeah, I wish it was easier to hold.
You know, me and Chris being wrestling fans, how would it feel to hit somebody with that? Just like straight.
It would hurt.
Oh,
it would hurt.
Somebody out.
It would really hurt because I think
knocking on that thing.
I don't know what the other belts are made of, but this one is straight up metal. It is some kind of metal that it's made out of. So it's like I wouldn't want to get hit in the face for this because I was a big wrestling fan in middle school too. During the Attitude Era. I was a WCW fan in middle school, and then they went to the Attitude Era when I was in high school. So yeah.
Leo Logan says, "Hey, champ."
Hey.
Yeah. Leo Logan, my best friend in the chat. But Andrew, I mean, you've had a few weeks since your last barn burner with Alex Damon. How you been, man? It's been a minute.
Been studying. That's all I've been doing. That's all I feel I've been doing in my off time. It's just like looking at cards, watching the movies, just trying to stay up on my game, just to make sure. Because I said it many times. If you for 1 second relax in this division, you're done. You're just done. You have to be on top of your game all the time. You have to be playing the game when you're not playing the game. So that's pretty much all I've been doing since. Other than personal life stuff, it's like half of my life is just studying and paying attention to the game.
Yeah, I mean, you dedicated yourself to Schmodown. It's one of the reasons why I appreciate you and I am a big fan of yours. But the difference from last year to this year is, and I said this, was you going to the Mercs. You are like smiling more than I've ever seen you smile before.
Yeah.
And in that first matchup, you're still the hunter. Like you're still serious. You still take this game extremely serious. But you smiled a lot more. You were more calmer. You weren't as uptight. And then in that second matchup, I just thought really you just could be phased. You know. So what has been the difference from last year to this year for you, Andrew?
Exactly what you said. I'm smiling again. I mean, winning. it makes you smile when you when it feels good. Losing sucks,
Right.
but yeah, it's the change of pace that I needed. That was the big decision coming into this season was, do I want to stay with the exchange? I know I work well with this faction, but I looked at my gameplay. It's like I was waiting for somebody to flick me because I was just so tight, and that's basically what happens. And everybody saw the difference in the play from last season to this season. Those misses in that second match, I would have like, oh man, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I'm killing myself, and I wouldn't stop thinking about it during the match. But the second match is like I missed two. It's like, all right, just keep going. You're tied anyways. You're exactly where you thought you were going to be anyways. But don't let those misses get to you, and just play the game, and you'll be where you want to be.
Yeah, for sure, man. And going to that second matchup, look, I was watching it with these guys. We were watching it with a lot of other people. We couldn't believe what was going on when he misses that first question. we all were like, "Oh, it's rigged." No, what's going on? Is this Alex?
No, we said no. Chris and I said that's the match because it feels like in the Star Wars division, first one to miss a question is
But he still fought back in that match. Like if
y'all
you
were
look at
tied
it,
in the first round.
Yeah,
it wasn't like he gave up or anything. But normally we usually say, "Oh, you missed that. This is game over."
Yeah.
What were your thoughts in that first round?
Don't let this miss get to you, because like I said, we ended up being tied at the first round anyways. But like regardless of what the score was throughout the entire match, it was like stay focused because it's Alex Damon. You can miss more questions. It's just a matter of like, can you come back from what you missed before? And Alex certainly did that. He went in after the second round, that rough second round, he came back and answered the rest of his questions without even blinking. So it's like that's the competitor you're dealing with, especially in the Star Wars division. Like, don't lose focus for any second, no matter what the score is. Stay focused because anything can happen in the Schmodown and especially in the division. Because I've been there. I've been like, oh, I'm playing great. I'm feeling good. I can relax. In the match of base, I was leading the entire time, and then 88 happens, and it's just like, God, Jesus, and it cost me the match. So I wanted to make sure that we said this with Koi in our prep match. It's like, no matter what the score is, you're tied. I don't care if you're up 10. I don't care if you're behind 10. You're tied. Play like you're tied, and that was the difference.
And when you were with the exchange last year, right? And it was, and especially in hindsight, like I think I like you as a babyface, Andrew. I really do.
I do too.
But you're one of the folks that's touted as like, oh, you're one of the early. I'm gonna go on Patreon. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna get my way in there myself. And then you play someone like Laura Kelly, and we'll get there in a little bit too. But you play Laura, and she immediately puts the little flame out that you had. And now you have this mindset, especially the last time we spoke, you had that underdog mentality. Even as the champion, you were somehow, some way still the underdog in that match. And what flipped that switch for you to have that mindset? Was it the changing into Koi? Was it you winning the belt and seeing the fan reaction to that? Was it you going to the tournament last year and having that excruciating loss to Ace? What flipped the switch for you in regards to I'm always the underdog?
All of the above. I mean, like you go in and the loss to Ace really is like I think after, even before that, was my match against Molly when I missed the whole Tidarium situation, which was like, oh, Andrew can miss. He's human, so maybe he's not as good as we think he is, and it's just like, no, I am still that good. It's just it happens to everybody. People get questions that you just flat out don't know sometimes. And people, and the fans are funny sometimes. It's like, oh, he missed one. He's washed up. He's no good. It's like, it's one question. Yeah. Come on, guys. It's just one question.
Right.
Yeah, it's. I try not to let that stuff get to me. I think that was a big change from last season to this season. Was Koi is adamant, like, don't pay attention to what people are saying. You know what you're capable of. You know your prep. We talk about it all the time. It's just noise. That's all it is. Don't worry about it. And yeah, I came into the season like, especially after being drafted the second Star Wars player off the board. I was like, what? I have an automatic title shot. What's going on? That anger was there. That chip was there. And it was just like, okay. And then we get into Koi talking to me. It's like, don't worry about it. You'll get it. And that mentality has really changed my gameplay, because I would always feel going in like, it's like, I'll show you people. You doubted me before. and it clogs your mind. It distracts you from what you want to do, and that's the whole switch this year. And I think that was a really big key moment for me. Was it's just noise. Don't worry about it. You know what you can do. You know what you came here to do. And if you let that distract you and get in your head, you're not going to achieve what you want. The only thing allowed in my head is Star Wars. That's all. I'm not even allowed my own head. The only thing that I'm allowing to get in my head is Star Wars.
Yeah, and for sure, you proved that. And you approved that. But that first match against Damon is gonna go down as probably one of the best Schmoedown matches.
It is
ever.
Yeah,
it
might be the best. It might be the best.
Yeah, it's gonna. But if we ever get another match that tops it, but because there was so much in that match, and then your reaction toward the end, and then the second match, people can't take away the fact that you beat Damon twice, and you beat him the second time, and it was you played your game. The first game was a perfect game. You had to go into overtime. The second game was real cloggy and real messy, and you still beat them. You beat them either way, and I think a lot of people can't take that away from you. And I've loved your story since I got to talk to you before, and these guys were there, and we showed that clip where I was crying when you won the first time. The second time, I was just like, oh yeah. That's my boy. I ain't even got to worry about it.
Wash.
The first time we were all watching.
Andrew!
Yeah, I was in tears. I was like, why am I? My girlfriend's like, why are you? What are you doing? Why are you crying? I don't know, man. But Andrew, man,
you don't get it. You don't get it.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But now you're looking at the Star Wars tournament. You have Ace in there. You have Laura Kelly's in the weight, but you also got the Star Wars tournament. What is your preparation for Laura, and how excited are you to play her to avenge that loss, because she did beat you on a 5-pointer, and she's kind of changed her ways. Let's be honest, she has a really edgy personality now, and it kind of helps her. She's been looking really good. So what's your thoughts on Laura Kelly?
Same prep as always. Hit reset, go back to the books, and prepare as always. Watch, listen, learn, and all that jazz. It's the same. I always said it. Preparing for Alex Damon makes you ready for anybody. And it is weird that I'm not preparing for Alex anymore. I'm preparing for somebody else. But yeah, it's the same as always. I'm excited to play her again. The old Andrew would be like, oh yeah, it's revenge time. It's time to set the record straight. I didn't lose. She didn't win. I lost. That all that kind of nonsense. But that's the mentality that I left behind with the exchange. Came into this season shedding all that. It took a while for me to be like, you don't need that. Again, it's noise. It's all it is noise distracting you. So yeah, I'm excited to play her again. She's a phenomenal player. She's a phenomenal presence in the Star Wars division and in the Schmoedown. A lot of people support her. And I like to see, being a fan first, like I always am. I love female presence in the Schmoedown, especially in the Star Wars division. It's a great opportunity for both of us to slug at it again, and it's exciting. It's an exciting matchup. I love going from Demont to Damon 2 to technically Kelly Demont 3, but head to head 2. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That's true. Yeah, and it's super exciting.
Andrew, I got a question for you, because this isn't a Schmoedown question. This is just me being an admirer of the sabers back there. What 2 brands are the Obi-Wan and Anakin ones? Because I collect sabers myself.
These I got off of the custom saber shop.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like to I like to try to tinker with, filmmaking is a passion of mine, and prop making is something that I've toyed around with. I'm terrible at it, but these ones I got at the custom saber shop.
I see the Saberforge chosen one above it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was my first one. Yeah, the Saberforge I bought, but I wanted to have a go at putting one together myself, like I'm like a freaking Jedi myself. So putting my and assembling the Luke Skywalker, the Legacy one, the Skywalker saber is completely finished, but the Obi-Wan one has no electronics in it, has nothing in it. And one day, when I have the time, maybe I'll finish it. But that one was a little bit more complicated. So
yeah. I trust me.
And you're like the champ now. You don't have time for everything, because I was so used to being on your Twitch and watching you play Call of Duty or doing your special effects. I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. And it's like now I don't see you anymore, and I'm like, oh, well,
Yeah, that has
because you're the champ.
Yeah, well, yeah, that, and also like, you know, personal life gets in the way. I have gotten a lot more clients since finding my footing after COVID hit, like the wedding business. I think I'm not a part of that business anymore, but like I've left that behind, like the exchange. But like, yeah, COVID forced me to pivot because like 80% of my revenue just disappeared overnight. It just disappeared. Like nobody ever was canceling. I had a couple of cancellations. Like I know, you know, we have to cancel, and I was like, I get it. And I didn't see a wedding for a long. I did one wedding, no, two. I'm sorry, two, in the past year. So it's like I did the deacons, and I was like, all right, I'm done because I've built up. Yeah,
you got to do the deacons. It's the deacons.
Yeah, that was amazing day. It was my only, in my 5 years in the wedding business, my only Star Wars themed wedding. Isn't that crazy?
That's
I was like,
awesome.
I never ran into anybody else that was like, we want a themed Star Wars wedding, and I was like, oh, thank God, man.
Is that on your business card now? It says Star Wars champ. Like, when you give out business cards, you're like, wait, what? And you're like, yeah, I'm a Star Wars champ. Just let you know.
No, but my coworkers, I did part-time for this marketing firm, and my coworkers are like, they're so into it. Like, because I introduced them to it, they're like, oh man, I can't wait for your next match, man. I was like, that's great.
Oh, we can't either. I am super excited for you.
Yeah.
If I can get weird for a second, because yesterday I was talking to Paige for Betty, usual suspect member, but I asked her this question I want to ask you because I'm so fascinated. How do you explain the Schmodown to somebody, especially you being the champion of a certain division?
Oh man, you have to feel out the person you're talking to. But I always say it's a movie trivia contest with theatrics and characters of pro wrestling, and they kind of go, what? And it's just hard to explain sometimes. Somebody, I can't remember who did. I think it was Brad Gilmore, explained it like perfectly. I gotta DM him and tell me to send it back to me, because he described it perfectly, and I just can't remember what he said. But yeah, it's like, if you like movies, you'll like this. It might take a while to get into like the stories and the characters, because it is jarring when you like see people smack talking. It's like, these guys take movie trivia really seriously. Jeez.
Right.
But it's like, if you can get past that and you like movie, because a bunch of my friends, they started watching with us because they're like, I don't want to watch any Schmodown if you're not in it. It's like, what? And then two of our friends have really gotten into it. They're like, I'm like, hey, have you seen that match yet? It's like, I'm already ahead of you, bro. Like, good.
I got the link.
I already know what happened.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, one of the things. What's that?
Go ahead.
Oh no! One of the things we want to talk about, because I kind of want to get into this because I'm pretty pissed off about this match, is this Marie Wilson versus Gold Leader match. Because I'm very irritated. Okay, look, I had Marie Wilson winning, and I know we're gonna get into this whole thing of you don't question the question writers and all this stuff, and I don't. I'm not questioning. But that 5-pointer was weak as hell, and it pissed me off. But the match was great. Look, you can't take away from Gold Leader. The guy played amazing. Perfect. And look, his storyline is building itself. He wasn't known. Gucci drafted him, and now there's a possibility that he can go. He's going to go through another Dragon Con player. If he gets to the finals, there's a possibility of a Dragon Con player being there.
He can play all the Dragon players.
He can play all the Dragon players and beat them all. Yeah. And they were all talked about before him. So this is a storyline that's writing itself. But that match was really good. Look, I think Marie is a future star. She has the knowledge, sure up some things, and I think she's going to be great. You know, Gold Leader. Look, you can't take anything away from him. The guy knows Star Wars. He's playing a smart character, because I'm starting to hate him now. And I think it's great. And this is, but the one thing that bothered me, the only thing I think that bothers me about this match is why we're not talking about it, because it should be talked about that this was a great match, is that 5-pointer. Had he had got a little bit difficult, more 5-pointer, I think this match would have been match of the week. He'd probably be player of the week because it was such a good match. But I don't see a lot of people talk about it on Twitter and the Facebook group, because I really feel that 5-pointer took away from this match. I don't know if you got to see the match or if you talked about it on your show.
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, what did you think?
He got the early link. What are you talking about? He got
he did, probably. Yeah. Well, he's the champ. He gets the scout.
He watched that match. He watched it happen.
Right?
Hey, that's the game, man. Sometimes you get quote unquote easier 5-pointers. I mean, difficulty of questions obviously subjective, and my view of what is difficult is skewed now, because I have to stay on top of my game. I have to look for those, and sometimes questions come like that. Like my 3-pointer against Alex Dan was like, wow, that's my 3. I wonder what my 5 was. You know what I mean? Because the answer to that question was like a guy that's in, you only even see him. He's like in 2 frames, and like he doesn't even do anything. So, but you know, he obviously has a backstory. More goes into the novel of him in the novel, but he had a scene that was cut from the movie, and like, yeah, the character is relevant, but you don't see him at all. But yeah, that's the game, man. If you get questions like that, you're fortunate enough that you happen to pick a number where, like, yeah, okay, yeah, cool. A fleeting line that everybody knows, sure, I'll take it. Like there were like 2 questions. Marie's 500 was like, oh wow, okay, they went there finally. And the oh god, the round 1, the lake. I don't know why I'm blanking on this right now, but the lake question was like another one. I was like, wow, okay, cool, they went there. Like there's been questions in a lot of these matches and with rookies and stuff where they've all impressed me and they've all gotten. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't think they would get to them one. I didn't think they would ever ask a question like that, but they did.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I said it earlier, and Leo Logan said that 10-year question tripped Marie up as well. Yeah, very true. Like I said, and I'm a sports fan. To me, this 540 just feels like a late holding call, or a foul that was just like yeah,
it's part of the game.
Really a foul? Yeah, it's part of the game. I'm not mad, but it's not like the refs cost her the game. The question didn't cost her the game. It just felt a little underwhelming. Like she came back, she tied it up, she took the lead, and then I'm like, all right, cool. And he has to answer his 5-pointer. So I was like, all right, this is good. This is an epic match. And then that just 5-pointer just made me feel empty inside. I was just like,
yeah, and that's the one thing, because it was a lot of these 5-point questions that are fleeting lines that like you hear it once and it's like it basically gets passed over, and it's like something that you would think people aren't paying attention to. But when this division, you were dissecting it, you might as well. It's like it's one, especially in the original trilogy, we've probably all seen them a million times. So it's kind of like maybe like, I don't know. I don't want to like rag on the writers, because they're doing an amazing job. So it's like it's hard to come up with questions that would stump most competitors in this division anymore. So
yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, it's not the division you came in when you and Laura Kelly were fighting to play Damon, and you were the only 2. Like there's so much talent.
It was only the second Star Wars match in 8 months.
Yeah,
and now I think that's what spoils us right now, because of how good. Look at Thomas Harper, how good he is. Look at you, how good your perfect match against Damon. You have all the Dragon Con people playing amazing. You have Gold Leader playing amazing. Lacey, Hoey, Eric Whiteley. Even though he has 2 losses, his losses aren't like, oh my god, he shouldn't be in the league. His losses like, all right,
and that's
he needs to shore up some stuff, but he's going to be good.
In any other division, these competitors will have multiple wins under their belt. It just so happens they compete in the hardest division that anybody can ever compete in. And me and Alex kind of joke all the time. It's like the day we retire, we're gonna become question writers for the division, because the laundry list of notes that we both have is ridiculous.
Amazing.
Like people always say, like, "Oh, we're gonna run out of questions, bro." It's like, come peek at my notes. We're not running out of questions.
As one of the question writers for the FCL, I know you've helped out a bit there. So
yeah,
thank you.
Alex, Andrew, have you ever stepped back and just look at, like I just said, when you and Laura played to now and just go, wow, this is actually kind of crazy? Because I remember when I first started watching the Schmoedown, people were like, let's get rid of the Star Wars division. We shouldn't have the Star Wars division. Yeah.
It's that time of year. We're having that argument again?
Yeah. No. I don't know.
Every time that comes up in the Facebook room, it's like, oh, it's that time of year.
I don't think anybody's saying that anymore. I think people want it more.
Funny. Because when Chris and I started this show, I was doing like, bro, the Stars division is one of the best divisions. What are you talking about?
That was before the tournament. It was before the tournament.
My point is, I didn't hop on the bandwagon. I'm one of the original people.
Well, even before last year's tournament, I was always the one that was, obviously, because I wanted to get in the damn thing. I was championing the Star Wars division. It's like, you will not see any other division in this league where every single match, minus one when Alex won the title against that poor man who's the Cypress of Lamb.
We love you, Bruce. We love you, Bruce.
Minus that one match, they've all come down to like just the 5-pointers, and they've all been close matches. Like, you don't see that in every single division. We'll see knockouts and runaways in all the other divisions, but Star Wars is that unique brand in the Schmoedown where it's Oh, it's so close. It comes down to the 5 almost every single time. It's going to be it's probably just a matter of time before 5150 becomes another match that was played, because just the division is that competitive. And just again looking back on it, it's like it's changed vastly, because like I remember my audition, like the questions were nowhere near as difficult as they are now. They were like, who's Luke Skywalker's father? I was like, Luke? Maybe. You know what I mean? The questions have gotten so much harder, and like I remember being nervous in my audition. I'm like, speaking of me and Laura Kelly, how vastly different we are now. I'm nowhere near the competitor I was when I first entered the league. Nowhere near the competitor I was when I auditioned. Because like nerves are certainly a thing. I was shaking just on a Skype call with me and Christian in the room. So yeah, looking back on it, it's like it's changed so much. Not just the number of competitors, the way that you have to look at the division and strategy wise, and how do you prepare, and what do you look at? Do you look at, because there's, like I said, every match there's been a question where I'm like, oh wow, I'm glad I had that in my notes, but now that one question opens the door for more questions to be asked. So it's a special thing. I hope they don't do away with the division, because you're going to lose out.
This division's not going anywhere.
Oh, no, hell no.
It's not going to go anywhere.
If we're talking about adding the TV, it's definitely not going anywhere. That's the most fun stuff to write.
Yeah, I hope they wait on that, because like I said, there's so much more to ask just out of 12 movies. So and I said it on several shows where it's like, I'm concerned for the writing staff. If they do end up adding the shows, it's like, who's going to write the questions?
I feel like they should, and this is just me personally, even though I've been writing the FCL questions, I feel like they should keep it to the live action shows, because at least that's more like a movie. I know for the FCL they're having us do Clone Wars and Rebels. I'm like, I get it. I'm having fun with it. But
that's a lot.
Exactly.
That's a lot. And especially like, Clone Wars.
Right. That's over, it's what, about just under 200 for Clone Wars and just under 100 for Rebels.
Something like that, yeah. So 7 seasons is like, you're going to ask writers to go through every single episode.
And there's a ton of trivia that can be pulled from a 20-minute long episode.
Exactly.
But you brought up 5150, and this is a question I had for you, and that is, if Demolon to Damon 3 happens, would you want it to be an Iron Man match?
No, absolutely not.
You're so quick. Nope. Next.
No. Well, one, I don't think it will work in the digital age because of the speed round. Obviously, because the last 2 minutes has to be the traditional speed buzzer round. So it wouldn't work digitally. And 2, you're taking a huge chunk or a huge part of how to play the game. And that's why I said I love the first one, the 5150, because it didn't come down to who didn't know what. It came down to the play of the game. He couldn't pull Bly in 30 seconds, and that's part of the game. When you take that portion and that strategy away from the game, you're no longer playing the Shimoda, and now you're just saying who knows more. And it's like, I don't know. Alex probably definitely knows more about Star Wars than I do at some days. Maybe some days I know more than he does. So Iron Man matches are funny. It's like it has the Schmodown logo on it, but it's really just basically question after question after question after question. They're fun. Like that Iron Man between Whitwer and Knapsack, one of the best matches ever played in any division. But it's just there's a thing to be said about the 5-round Schmodown format, because then you start introducing strategy as much as you can have strategy in the Star Wars division. So. I think, and I'm pretty sure Christian doesn't like the Iron Man format either, because for that exact reason, it's not the Schmodown. It's just,
and it makes the writers do like the Lord's work.
You're just like burning through half of your catalog of questions because it's an Iron Man match.
Right. And two things. One, in regards to my feelings about Star Wars before the tournament, it's not because I thought the matches were bad. Let me preface that. It's just because we had like a match a year and it was at Celebration. Yeah. And half of us like, and like 1,000 people would be there at most. And then the second thing is you mentioned, or should have mentioned, all the great Star Wars crop of players that we got this year. Mm-hmm. Right, in the draft, and you fell into the draft, and I don't know if you can disclose if you talked to other managers before the draft or not, to make sure if you wanted to go into the draft or if you wanted to go to a faction, whatever. What's going on, Amaru? But when you knew you were into the draft, when you knew you were there, and you were highly anticipating your pick, because I mean, I think we all knew you're going to be up there in regards to where you get picked up. But then you see a guy like Thomas Harper with no automatic title shot. He only comes off of his Dragon Con background, and you're over here like, yo, I'm waiting for I have a shot. I'm just waiting for them to tell me what it is. How did you feel when Thomas was taken before you?
It was frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, it was frustrating because I'm not gonna say who I talked to, but like certain conversations were had.
I know, and I'm upset about it. But
we can talk about it later. Andrew.
I found out.
But certain conversations were had where it's like, yeah, I'll take you if you're available, and I fall to what was it, the 4th pick?
Yep.
And I said it before. Koi was the only one that I talked to that kept to his words. Like, if you are available to me, I'm drafting you. And we had this conversation of like, because again, I was like going into the draft because I needed a change in pace, and I'm like, I'm just gonna leave my fate up. I don't care where I play. I just want to play. And Koi was the only one that really kept to his word. And I don't fault the managers because they're doing what they think feels best, point wise, fit wise. Because, regardless of where I ended up, I knew I wanted to just play. And I said it before on another show, like if you look at the factions from top to bottom of the rosters, they drafted very well, not only player-wise, but personality-wise. Every single person on the exchange fits so well with that faction. Radis, Lomas, Gold Leader, their personalities fit so well. And I talked to several competitors, and I talked to Christian about this, and they're like, you fit so well in the Mercs. I don't know why. It just fits. It was the will of the force that I ended up on the Mercs because I'm happier. I'm having fun again. Nikki certainly most definitely likes me on this squad because she never liked me as a heel. She would watch me. She's like,
it was weird. It was
weird. Like, I know it's like, obviously we're married. We've been together for so long. What is it? 12, 13 years now? I can't remember.
You might not want to question it.
Don't tell her to watch this.
That's the automatic for like boyfriends and husbands. Is like it's birthdays, anniversaries, your child's birthday. It's like you have that mini, even though you know it straight off, you have that mini panic attack. It's like, wait a minute, no, 6/16, 7/11. Okay, yeah, that's right. So,
like, hey babe, what after show did you do tonight? Oh, they were bad. Don't worry about it. It was awful.
Yeah, but she fully enjoys me being a face again because now I'm back to doing what I love in the Shimoda, and it's having fun and doing these fun cutscenes. I have all these ideas that I want to do, but like I don't have the time to do them.
That's about cutscene, still one of my favorites.
Yeah, we kind of got a slap on the wrist.
That was a great cutscene.
Yeah.
But it was amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun doing that stuff. And it was it's a part of the show that I love doing because filmmaker first. That's a passion of mine, and I wish I had time to do another like X-Wing type of entrance. It's just I don't have 3 months to dedicate to an entrance anymore.
That's because you're the champ. I mean, look, I like you as a heel. Like honestly, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I became a fan of yours.
It was
how excited it was. Yeah,
it was fun for a while because no lies, like that attitude is a part of me. Christian is great about finding these things about players that like he sees a part of you that he wants to bring out, and it worked for me for a while. He's like, we had a conversation. It's like, yeah, this attitude really works for your character. Let's really dig into it and like be serious all your matches and play it up, play the attitude up. And yeah, that I'm not gonna lie, that attitude that's in there. It is a part of me. I get super competitive, and when I don't win, I get really salty. I get really salty sometimes. But the other side of that, the quirky merc side of me, is more who I am. I'm more relaxed in that space. So it was fun for a while to really say what was on my mind sometimes, but I don't like that about me. Sometimes when I did say certain things, I was like, oh god, that I really shouldn't have said that. That was a little hurtful. So.
I mean, there was some. I think the moment that really like it made me smile when you were Hill is when you did your promo and you're going to hear that, Christian? Tiberium. I was like, oh damn, you went there. Oh snap! All right, Stone Cold, you're gonna flip him off next time. Like it was awesome. It was I did like your hero persona, and I remember saying you're sleeping on both demons. Demolantas, how are you excited to see Nikki play?
I am so excited. You have no idea. You have no idea how long I've been chipping at that to get her in. Because like the first season, sure, whatever, she wasn't as big as a fan and wasn't as in it as we were. But after that first season, she hit hard. It's just as hard as I did. And I was like, you really need to consider competing because sometimes I'll ask you something like, I didn't think you knew that. and she'll pick out. She's done this several times where she would say something to me. It's like, hey, do you think they'll ask that? I'm like, they probably won't ask that. And the next match we watch is like, see, they asked it. I was like, okay, cool. So she has that mentality of looking for things that will most certainly be asked. And I'm just so excited, like to see her finally get, because she won't admit it. She's like, every one of our shows I open, Star Wars competitor Nikki DiMolante. She's like, that's debatable. I'm like, no, it's not debatable. You got drafted. You're a late pickup, but you still got drafted. You're on a team.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm super excited to see her play, because I think she doesn't give herself enough credit. I think she will turn a bunch of it. Yeah, I'm already probably knows, man. She's good. She's been studying as much, and I know the second her first match gets announced, I won't be able to see her. She'll be locked away in a cave by herself studying, because that's the kind of person she's just as competitive as I am. She's a geek, a bookworm at heart. She straight A's all through grade school. So that's the kind of mind that you're dealing with Vicky DiMolante.
Do you think when she gets into the match, you think it's going to hit her harder because she's like, no, I actually do want to do this. Like, you know, how like some people get into it and then they play the match, like Eric Whiteley, even Kevin Smith, you know, they played the match and they're like, no, wait a minute, I actually do want to play this, you know?
Oh yeah, no, she even before, like when she got drafted, she's like, all right, I guess I got to start studying. She hit it hard for like 2 weeks, and then we haven't heard anything. We haven't heard anything for the match, so she kind of eased up a bit on it and just started focusing on helping me. But yeah, she'll hit it hard. She might have to have, you know, a cup or two of wine, but she'll get it.
So I know one of your faction mates, the Jackal, is kind of going through the same thing right now. He's trying to convince his fiance. You got any advice for Jesse, or have you been giving him advice?
Keep watching movies. Keep telling her to play along, because Nikki playing along to these matches kind of reinforces that she does have that. Because like sometimes she'll miss a couple here and there, and it's like, yeah, it's understandable. She hasn't been a fan as long as I have. She just like the first like real Star Wars movie that she just like enthralled with and absolutely loved was Force Awakens, and that's what really grabbed her as a fan. And
my girlfriend's the same way, so I understand that.
But she have her play along, have her watch movies and see if she retains information, because sometimes you'll surprise yourself like, oh yeah, that's right, that is the person. It's like, wait, what? You knew that? Okay, cool. You should compete. So yeah, just keep watching. Keep playing along, and then you'll eventually get her.
Right. And with Nikki, right? Because I know everyone's been clamoring for the DiMolante Damon. I don't know how the hell that would even like that.
Make it a four-way match.
Oh my Lord,
four-way match.
They've been
just get destroyed in the process. Let's find out.
I feel like getting divorced tonight. Let's do it.
Right. So you're telling me that when Nikki does get her match announced, or whenever it happens, hopefully sometime this year, and she has to go through the Andrew DiMolante School of Star Wars Schmodown studying, because that sounds like it's intense. Like
we've actually been doing this one drill with me just to keep my mind loose, and I really love this drill. And it's I don't know if she can do it, but it's just a lot of like, everybody probably has the same exact tactics. It's just finding information is probably what we do differently. It's just, you know, take notes, study them, put them in cards, watch the movies. That's pretty much all it is. It's just certain things might separate us between competitors, but we're all pretty much doing the exact same thing. And she has her own ways of studying. I have my own. We've actually last season, I think we got too ridiculous, because we went as far as like finding certain teas to drink to calm my nerves, and just ridiculous stuff like that. That really probably didn't do much, because but yeah, this is pretty much the same thing. Just look at your cards, watch the movies, and do your best to memorize everything.
So she was being Phil Jackson with Sage going through the house to try to calm you. You know, and giving you
the new person is Kyrie Irving. It's Kyrie Irving doing it nowadays. Let's get that
there
right.
You go.
Oh, it definitely don't smell like Sage, if you know what I mean. But I think that's her nickname, the Zen Master Nikki DiMolante. That's it. That's it right there.
There you go.
But Andrew, I did this with you last time I talked to you on Speaking Of, and I want to do it with you again. It's fun getting to talk to the champion, but if I can talk to the fan, Andrew DiMolante, for a second. Hasn't this season been the best, dude? Doesn't this season rule?
It has. There's just so much content. I mean, as a as a reviewer and as a as a commentator on it, it's like, God, we got to talk about 5 matches today. We're going to be here for 2 hours. I'm like,
you tell
us,
man.
us. We'd like to keep our episodes condensed and be mindful of everybody's time, including our own. But it's like, God, there's so much stuff to talk about. There's so much stuff to watch. But like, as the fan, it's like, give me more, man. Come on, we're getting more. You're telling me we have a Star Wars match every single week? Let's go, man. It's awesome.
You're probably going to defend the belt for 3 to 4 times this year. That's crazy. I never thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, I can tie it in 1 year. Yeah, the most I can get is 4, and I can tie Damon this just in 1 year. So that's crazy. Like when you got
Andrew,
like 2 matches a year.
I got to tell you the truth. I'm a big fan of yours, but you're going to defend it 3 times, and then you're going to lose it to Thomas Harper. You're my boy. You're my boy. I want if you win, I'm gonna be happy. But no, I'm excited. I want to see you.
Happened to me on a podcast.
Oh God! Look, Shook speaking for himself. Like, let's.
No. He knows. No, I want to see.
Matt seconded that notion. I had to print out the comment.
I think Andrew's gonna defend it 4 times. If I have to put my child up and for a bet.
Sure, let's be honest. You'd be happy to get rid of one of them. Don't put your child up.
My son. He's 11-year-old now. He talks back. It's horrible.
Oh, man.
Wait until you get to that age, Andrew.
We're going through the terrible 2s in the potty training stage. It's oh my God. It's parenthood is a beautiful thing, isn't it? It's a beautiful thing.
It's a hilarious thing, but it's when I have a video of my daughter when she was potty training, and my girlfriend filmed it, and she's like, "I poo-pooed in the toilet."
We can't say that anymore, Corey.
Nope, can't say that anymore. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So our Chris and I's buddy Nick Mulbach, he's a film guy just like yourself. Mm-hmm. And this is whenever I talk about you, when I told him you were coming on, I was like, I'm just gonna come on to say this. Andrew, your camera quality is unbelievable. What do you stream with?
Okay, so everybody always asks me this because me and Eric, I always commented on this. Me and Eric Whiteley, man, if you can say anything about the Merc Star Wars competitors, our camera and framing.
You're in 8K right now, dude.
So my setup, obviously, I'm a videographer is my profession, and I have all the equipment. So why not use it? So I have a bunch of LEDs around me. Obviously, the Rodecaster for the sound, and I'm a Rode chill, so I have the Rode microphone for that. And then my camera is complete overkill. I have no idea why I use it. I have the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K camera.
I love that camera. I got to see it once in person, but
I don't use it as much as I can now because Corona limits me on going out to shoot, but. Oh my God, this camera is so crispy.
I've heard the downside is like you have to buy like 1 million freaking accessories just to use it like properly.
As a proper videography thing, I mean, I can get away with one attachment, and but like as a camera, just right out of the box, get a lens. You have the battery, slap some nice glass on it. Put the the speed booster. I can't remember the brand. Put a speed booster on it. Put any lens you want on it. Oh, it's such a good camera. It's a great camera, and I'm disappointed that I don't use it as much. The only time I use it right now is pretty much for Beyond and a couple of the clients that I meet with maybe once or twice a month to film stuff, but that's it. But it's
shot on that so many times. I love it. Corey Cameron, I love Blackmagic.
Blackmagic is I think Canon and Blackmagic, their images, especially Canon's color scheme is amazing. But
I primarily use a Canon for myself. So I agree with that.
I started on Canon, then I migrated to the Panasonic GH5, which is my workhorse for several years, and then I finally pulled the trigger on the Blackmagic, and it was just like, oh man, so good. It's so good.
So a question,
right, Chris, we got to work on this stuff. We got to work on getting our
cameras.
I got a decent enough camera myself.
My camera's decent right now, but it's just
you don't need the Blackmagic for what I do.
I can't wait for Andrew. Next time you come on Spin from the Reel, I want you to use the bummiest camera you had. Like just
no. Don't listen to Chris.
Like the bummy. Like I want it to be worse than mine. Like
I'll say this, man. As any like videographer, filmmaker will tell you, it's not the camera, it's the person behind it. Mm-hmm. You can give me. I can take my Blackmagic out right now and try to film something, and it'll look good. But then you can give somebody that's been in the business, a cinematographer that's been in the business for years, and shoot it with their iPhone or whatever. It'll probably look 3 times better than whatever I can spit out. So
that's why Roger Deakins is a king.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's the person like go on YouTube, look up lighting setups, looking it's like I don't if you have one, I'm not knocking on you, but ring lights drive me insane. I can't stand ring lights. Like when you see ring lights in like the reflection of things like
No,
I'd rather have cancel my ring light order on Amazon.
LED block panel.
You can achieve just if not better lighting with 2 lights and a bounce. That's all you need. That's all you need. Bounce your light off your ceiling. If you have a white ceiling, bounce your light off the ceiling. You get beautiful lighting that
Chris,
way.
You see what he did there? Because I said that Thomas was going to beat him. Now he's cracking on me because I have a ring light. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, Andrew.
He's like, you know what? He's like, you know what else I hate? Black glasses. They're just the worst. Like
the worst. You know.
I'm not saying
get rid of them.
I'm not saying ring lights are useless. I'm just saying like it's a tool. It's a tool. It's a tool that that has a very specific purpose. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people don't use that tool like not properly in the way it's meant to. I have the saying that I don't know if anybody knows who Ryan Connolly is from Film Riot. Any hands? Okay. Yes. Yes, my man. I've been following Film Riot for years. He has this great saying: you can hang a picture on the wall with a hammer and a nail, or a butter knife and a nail. They'll both get the job done. One is vastly easier than the other. So it's the tools and how you use them. So
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Even if you are not competing at Celebration next year, are you gonna be there?
Yes, I already have my tickets. They rolled over.
So you chose to roll over. I'm sitting here waiting.
Roll over.
I'm sitting here waiting. I'm like, I'm a college student. I couldn't roll mine over. Let's see it. Let's sell them back and see how they decide to do this. But there's a perfect opportunity for the Black Magic right there. Go around, shoot some cosplayers.
Oh man, that's just I have a different camera for that kind of again tools and how you use them. The Black Magic is not for vlogging or anything like that. It's so wow. What is this beyond the Schmodown? We're not a huge tangent. That's not Schmodown.
Right. That's what we do. Hold on. I have the perfect sound bit for this.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Yeah,
I have one too,
that's
man.
For me. Like, I'm like, yo, oh my god. So to go back to Schmodown for a minute, again, I want to talk to the fan, Andrew Di Milanta. Yeah. Besides your own matches, what's your favorite match this year?
Oh man.
Besides your own, because obviously you played the best match of all time. I will say that if no one else will. It's the best match ever.
I said that just earlier.
Yeah. And I will y'all out here like it's one of. No, it is.
No, I said it's one of.
I said one of because it's
don't point at me.
Oh my god.
Let my man as I'm killing time for my man to answer the question.
Oh god, there's so many good ones, man.
A ton of good ones.
Jeez.
Really some really good ones. It could be newer, it could be I mean you can go as far as
season, right?
Season? Mara Mike or Mara Chandru or even Molly Laura. Like you can as much time you can go in between.
So many good ones, man. Like
give me a couple.
Got this past one with Janine and oh my god, why is it
Marisol?
Marisol.
Mm-hmm.
Great match, man. Like I one of the things I love about that I is again I'm a huge backer for female talent in the league, especially females of color. Come on, man.
Woo,
that says so much for how far the league's come, because before when the league started it was just a bunch of middle-aged white dudes answering these questions. Now we've come so far to having Janine and Marisol, 2 prominent females of color, competing in a match like that. Are you kidding me? That's something that stood out to me. God, there's so many good ones.
Sounds like Spin from the Real right now. It's crazy.
Chris, what's yours besides Andrew? Let's give him time to think.
Oh, Chris, sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm biased towards the people I know.
Same.
Like I'm damn it.
You think I'll say mine, Radis Gubbins, because that was the most entertaining match outside of theirs, because it's really the only OT match we've got outside of your and Alex's first match. Mm-hmm. And we say this all the time. You see how when it came to overtime, Radis just kind of flipped that switch and got super serious, dropped the character for a minute.
I mean, like I always like the back and forth ones. Like, is it going perfect for both competitors? Going perfect is great to see, but like I like the back and forth. Someone takes the lead in first, it goes back to the somebody else takes the lead in the second, and then it goes back in the third. And those are the matches that I really like. I just can't think of any right now because there's so many good matches this season.
I'll drop a couple to get. I'm that guy. Mm-hmm. I love Deception Blackjack. Just it was a showcase of Marisol McKee and what she's capable of doing with Adam Collins and really solidifying her place as the A player. We had her on the show a few weeks ago. We were telling her then that match really proved to everybody that what she's capable of doing. Future star if she already isn't one. Adam Collins and Dan Murrell, the title match not too long ago.
That was good, yeah.
I love Adam, but like, damn Dan with like five singles belts. Like if he was the GOAT, but he loses the belt just so he can get it again. I'm convinced at this point. And and I guess those Rager matches, that piece of garbage. Like I like those too.
I just can't think of it right now. My brain is so mushed. Like it's hard to keep track of everything. I'm like, was that from this season?
Okay, you can say yours. Okay, he wants to say his.
Yes,
Let him
mine.
say his.
No,
it's if I can't choose that match. I mean, that match. Like I said, that
answer. I'll say for Andrew, his match with Damon, the first one's the correct answer.
Chris is getting choppy.
Am I what? Am I?
Your picture's getting choppy.
I think you're good now.
Screw it. Who cares? I don't have my black. I should go get my black magic camera. Give me a second.
So Andrew, we got you for a little bit longer. Just wanted to ask you, now that COVID's kind of there's a lot of positive. California might open. There's a lot of places opening up. If they do a live show and they have you do your belt online, how excited would that be for you? Or are you looking to being back in the studio or being at a live event?
Oh, absolutely. That's where the Schmodown starts, man. Like there's nothing like live events. Competing in them and being present for them as a fan, they're amazing. There's nothing like a live Schmodown. If you haven't been to a live Schmodown event, you're not. I mean, I hate to say you're not a fan, but like you have to. You have to go. It's electric.
It's a rite of patches.
It's the preferred way to watch the Schmodown.
Yeah, it is. Like there's nothing like that energy when you walk into a room. I mean, the only like live event that I've competed in was the Celebration one. And like, I'll fight you. It's a live event. There's 600 people in that room that day. Right. That's a live event. Yeah, man, I would most likely love to, because just that feeling of people cheering, because this is the only platform where I get to answer dumb questions about a space movie and people will cheer when I answer correctly. This is the only place where I get to showcase my stupid knowledge, because my friends, they like Star Wars. They don't care about the background character in this one scene from the Revenge of the Sith. They don't care. So like this is the one place where I can be celebrated for my knowledge and finally get to show off what I know and what I love and what I love watching.
So when the first live event happens and your belt's on the line, you look out and you see me and Justin Hamilton with Demolanta across our stomachs. Like, are you just gonna like are you gonna concentrate,
man? I'm gonna cross surf and jump in and like, catch me, Shug.
Like I think I'm gonna have DIA, and then he's gonna have to
you're gonna have to get a lot more people to say
no, Shug, you're gonna have you're gonna have DIM. DIM.
Yeah. Why did I say DIA? I know I'm a bad speller. This is why I can't compete in the show.
You're a bad speller. Come on, man.
But
yeah, I'll write it for you, Shug.
So,
I'll write it for
thank
you.
I actually have a question for that, because I know Christian's like,
about tummy spelling.
No. When just him playing in the non-digital era. Christian's kind of said that like championship matches and all that they'll fly you guys out for like when they get back in studio to be in studio. And I know he said he's ultimately going to let the champion decide in those championship matches. I'm not going to ask you which one you're going to use, but between speed round and buzzers, have you given thought to that possibly? Which one?
I can't think that far ahead. I'm not allowing myself to think that far ahead because I have to think about the next match. The second you think about what's coming up in 3 to 4 matches, you lose sight of what's ahead of you, in front of you. Like that's, you don't think about the future or the past. Stay in the moment. Like Yoda says, like keep focus on now. If you focus on now, then you'll be good. I mean, there's benefits to both. I have never competed in the fast buzzer round. I've done really well in the fast money. I love calling it fast money. It's just hard, because how do you practice for the buzzer round? How do you practice? Like it's easier to practice for fast money than is the buzzer round, because you need to have somebody across from you that can try to get answers quicker than you can. But I'm not really thinking about that right now. But there are benefits to both versions. I don't know. At this point, I just don't know.
So for those at home, to translate, he has an answer. He just doesn't want to tell us, which is perfectly fine. Like
I said, I didn't want.
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know.
It depends how he wakes up that day.
Yeah, it could be. It could be like, hey, I feel like being spicy. Let's do the buzzers. Bring the buzzers out.
Being spicy.
I mean, and he's a black belt in Taekwondo, so he's got hands.
Oh yeah.
So you know.
Oh snap!
Dang. You know he's got hands. You know he's got hands.
I'm not that quick anymore. I'm not. I turned 36 tomorrow. I'm not that quick anymore.
What?
Oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday, man!
Well,
36.
Right,
36.
I'm more
like you're 12.
I know it's a blessing and a curse, man. I got carded like 3 days ago. I'm like, really, man? Well, I have my daughter in my hand. I'm like, really, man? Like, really? I'm trying to buy what is it? Truth. I'm trying to buy a box of Truly, man. That's not like I'm buying hard liquor over here. Come on.
Damn, he's really.
You should have told him. You know, he's like,
is in water.
Damn,
I love this guy.
He's amazing.
Yo, I think we need a fourth, and I know we're taking applications, but I mean we can just take you and Nikki. Have Nikki come on too.
Like one of us has to be free to, the young one. We have to let them.
She can come on too. She's going through the terrible twos, but yo, we're awful. Like so, I think I don't know if you watched our show, but we're a mess.
He's awful.
He's awful. Don't act like my awful spreads like the plague. Like we need to cool it. Right?
But Andrew, thank you for coming on, man. Like I said, I have been a fan since the beginning, since I got to first watch you, and now become more of a fan. And I remember your first the first Damon match, and we were all.
Corey, I didn't want to be the one to say it. I didn't want to be the one to say it.
On some real stuff, man.
Yeah.
But I remember I came on the show and we were talking about your match with Damon, and I said I'm picking Demolanta. I said he has the fortitude and he has the cojones to beat him. And these guys are like, "What are you talking about, man? He's gonna get blown out the water."
No. We're lying. I said it was gonna be close. You lying sack of.
Stop it.
No, but
embarrass me in front of Andrew. How dare you?
No, but seriously though, I am very proud of what you've done and very happy for you, man. And
thank you.
When you told me your one dream you wanted to have, and I got to see you take the photos of it, I was ecstatic, man. So I just want to
made it into the second match promo. I was tearing. I was like crying, like, oh, she went in. Oh my god. Eric is a wizard, man. He's so
dude, that first promo for your guy Alex and you, that the Ace promo in you kills me every time. Because I know what's going to happen now, and I got to watch this. And then the second one, the Alex Damon first promo is amazing. I love it. Yeah, they're amazing. But we know you got the little one, and you got Nikki waiting for you. So we're gonna go ahead and let you go. But before you go ahead and plug everything that you do. You have a show, and also plug your next match because I heard it's a big one.
Yes. So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, you can't see it there. No. It's Drew Dimalanta, Dimalanta. You can follow. Go to youtube.com/Andrew and Nikki to find Beyond the Schmodown every Mondays. God, we have so much stuff that we want to do. We just don't have the time. One day we'll bring Going Rogue back, hopefully, when we have the time for that. But yeah, that's mainly it. Beyond the Schmodown every Mondays. And the match at Collision, which is, I think they announced it was July 10th.
Yes.
I think it is July 10th. Me and Laura Kelly get to swing it again. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great.
Can't wait.
Another great
match.
Wait.
It's going to be killer.
Cannot wait for it. Yeah, it's going to be a great match. Cannot wait. Chris and Matt, you got anything to say to Andrew before you leave?
Thank you for
coming on. Are you sure you don't want a second Monday show? Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I have other things I have to take care of.
Ignore kid to my right.
Actually, if we added Andrew, we would really be the most diverse podcast.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
Asian, Hispanic, Black, white.
But if we add Andrew and Nikki, we get a woman also. And then it's really the most diverse.
We can be beyond the real, or beyond the. We can be spin from. We'll figure it out later. But Andrew, thank you so much for coming on the show. Truly, man, pleasure getting to talk to you again, and hopefully it won't be the last.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's awesome.
No doubt about it,
No
bro.
problem,
Thank
Andrew.
you.
Have a great night. Be safe.
All right, see you later.
And with that,
Another happy landing.
Yes, isn't that guy just the worst? I'm kidding. No, Andrew DiMolanta. I love talking to him. Like he's I was so happy when he did win, and when we did our little hangout with the guys that showed me the money, and Suge was crying, and I was freaking out because of the match. And I've become such a big fan of DiMolanta, and I think Suge, it's slowly spreading to me because of you. Like you put the thing in my brain.
Yeah, I think when you look at what I love the most about the Schmodown is when it becomes real. And look at Andrew. I loved his heel character. I don't care what anybody says. And I know it said that it took away from him, but it was real. And that's what. And when I had the conversation with him, he said, "My dream is to hold that belt, beat Damon, hold that belt, and have my daughter in my hand and my wife next to me." You feel that, and that's real stuff, and I love that. And when he won, and the excitement over his face, and the screaming, and you could see it just all came out. Man, I get chills right now thinking about it because that's just awesome. And what he had to go through, he started off 0-2. He won 2 matches in that tournament, and people were still doubting him. And then to lose like he lost to Ace, and you're like, man, is this guy ever gonna get a break or And then he goes perfect to beat Damon, and I guarantee you people saw that and were like, oh, it's a fluke. And then he beats him again, and like, what are people gonna say now? They can't say anything. And when he beats Laura Kelly, he avenges that loss. And I guarantee you, who he's hoping to play? He's either hoping to play Ace or he's hoping to beat Thomas to beat them. To show how good he is, because if he beats one of them, you cannot deny DiMolanta is one of the best Star Wars players to play and a Schmodown competitor to play. So I am super excited to see what he does against Laura and beats her, and I'm super excited for the rest of the season with Star Wars. I will champion this guy because he's not only that, he's just a great dude. He's a great dude, and he cares about the Schmodown. And I think that a lot of people got confused with competitiveness and caring, and made it to be cockiness, and that's not what it was. He wasn't cocky. He just loves the Schmodown. He wanted to compete. He's a competitor. And when you're a competitor, you're passionate. You can't be mad at somebody that's passionate. And like he said, he championed for the Star Wars division when it wasn't as big as it is now. So to me, you have to respect the man. And so I will always champion him. I'm a fan of his. I watch all his content when I can. And I will watch any match he's in because he's just a good dude, a great person, and I love talking to him. So he's the champ. So that's what I think about Andrew DiMolanta, and I will continue to think about that. So I hope he has a great rest of the season and more exciting matches to come.
Facts. And before we continue talking about Rushmore and Danger Zone, that's what we were chatting about before you got here. I'm a sucker for fans coming in here knowing their place and already having this pre-established love for the Schmodown and seeing how they run. And him and Smets came in similar ways. And look at them now, both of them. Like Kevin's character and the persona he had, even before all his personal stuff was going on, people loved Kevin Smets, right? And DiMolanta, it took him a second because he didn't have that immediate success that Smets was having. But damn, like now he's out here. He beat the Star Wars GOAT, or like the man that carried the division on his back for 3.5 years, beat him twice a month or in like 40 days, whatever the hell. And now we're talking about him playing Laura Kelly again to try to avenge that loss he had X amount of time ago. But at the same time, wouldn't it be cool to see Laura Kelly as a Star Wars champion? I think it'd be pretty damn cool.
It would be dope. It would be dope, but I really believe that DiMolanta's mindset, because of Koi, he's on a different level right now.
And we saw that in the first match. Like I've said this multiple times, I'll say it again. When that challenge, that's probably the best challenge ever. Like because it's not only because like he was correct, he got the challenge. Like they gave him the stuff. Like the call in his way. That's what I'm looking for. And then his whole demeanor changed. Like he was like, I am missing one now. I'm not about to have another goof. That's not happening. And that's what won in the match. I will stand by that challenge, that his demeanor after that. Like it wasn't just, yeah, I'm here and I'm really good at Star Wars. He's like, I am winning this match. I'm winning this damn match. And it's almost unfair, the advantage that DiMolanta had, because he was emotionally driven to beat the hell out of Alex Damon after that challenge, because the game could have screwed him. But he used that to motivate him. like I said a couple weeks ago when Radis played Gubbins, right? And again, another sudden death match. Like Radis, his whole demeanor changed because of the sudden death aspect of everything. But Dimolanta was even doing well before that, and then the challenge happened. Sudden death brings out the best and brings out the most schmo-downiest of competitors.
Well, not only that, Alex decided to breathe for a minute because he heard and you're a winner, and Andrew didn't get out of that mindset because he went right to the challenge. So their mindset shifted in that moment.
Facts, baby. Facts. Like that. Andrew Dimolanta, he's like, not only is he like the best, but damn, he's killing it at Star Wars. And after that 51-50 match, I don't know what else we can expect out of Star Wars. Like Shig, you're talking like someone's gonna top that one day. Like we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
It took
That's
to me.
That's why I asked about the Iron Man, because I think that's what it would take to top something like that.
To me, Knapsack Whitwer was the best match ever until that match happened. So, like Iron Man Star Wars matches, I'm all for them. But now, with the circumstances and how the game's changed since Whitwer was around, I understand his POV on Iron Man matches. But I like them. I think they're fun. So let's go back to Rushmore and Danger Zone for a little bit, because like obviously Friday's pay-per-view, there's a lot to pinpoint out of that. But because of certain ramifications that have gone on in the last couple days, that match between Danger Zone and Rushmore it might have way more weight than it did when they initially were playing the match, if I can say that. Like we were talking about JTE in the Finstock Exchange, how JTE is the go-to player, or at least he's the A player over there. But yo, Bateman and Merle are proving themselves, or proving to us why they are, like, out of super teams, probably how they complement each other more so than a Roka Merle, like how we saw last year. You know what I mean? They complement each other so well, and it's two masters of the game. Dan, greatest of all time, answers questions like a madman. Ben Bateman, the best strategist the Shimonon has ever seen. You put them together, holy hell! Look what we saw, Rushmore Danger Zone, and now we're gonna see it again when they play Corruption, or at least presumably when they play Corruption. So, yo, Danger Zone's where the party's at, and it's scary. They are terrifying as a team together, and that match with Rushmore proved it.
I mean, they're a good team. They're a good team, and when you put two super great competitors, you're going to get this. I think they got past their. I think they got past their hard competition and deception. I think and we're going to see what Corruption can do if they do play Corruption. But you got to give it up to Danger Zone. Danger Zone was just a really good team, and they did what they had to do. And earlier, Matt said, JTE really carried Rushmore. I don't know what's going on with Roka. I know we don't want to say this, but the game. I'm not gonna say the game's past Roka, but
no, I think honestly, I think it was the Dan of it all, because look at how he played against Liz Shannon Miller. He was fine. I just think seeing Dan across the table, technically, let's be honest, I think he got under his skin because he probably felt extra pressure to win the match. Here's the thing. Part of the reason I love John Roca is because he finds motivation in everything. And we've been hearing goat law. He probably put that extra pressure on his back, and it carried it into the match, causing him to stumble a little bit.
I don't agree with you, Matt, but
that could definitely play a part. I just think the better team won, and that's at the end of the day, it's what it was. I do consider.
Oh, no, I think the better team won. I'm just saying he brought up John Roca specifically, so I was retorting to what he said.
No, and even with Roca, and I don't want to say the game's past him. I still
that's
when he beat Liz, I think that shut a lot of that up, because like that because
kind of
I think it did. And don't get me wrong,
it did.
This might be controversial. I don't think Liz has gotten to her potential yet. I think there's another level.
I don't either. But John Roca had two great performances before this match. He literally, you can't just be like, has it passed him? He struggled in the beginning of the digital age. Now, especially that they're doing mock matches and things like that within factions, it's not as much of an issue because now you're getting adjusted to it.
The JTE of it all as well also plays a part.
Yeah.
I don't want to say this may sound blasphemous, and I don't mean to say that.
Everything you say is blasphemous.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Is this? He has another test next week, so we'll see. Who's he playing next week?
I'm checking.
Is it Bateman? Is he playing Bateman again?
How do you do a show and not know what the schedule is, Chris?
What do you mean? I mean, I had to review 5 matches before this. I'm sorry if I get my matches.
I think he's talking about 2 weeks out, because 2 weeks out is when they talked about we had the Bateman matches, because they only had the May schedule in here, and he's not on the May schedule, so he has to be.
Thank you, Corey. It's Bateman.
Yep.
See, Shug, Ghai.
Oh yeah. Don't talk to me in Spanish. What the hell is wrong with you?
Stop it. But the
matches. I didn't even know there was a Roka match. All of a sudden,
come on now,
ready? And I was just like, surprise.
But is JTE John Roka's best teammate?
No, you can't. You can never say that, because he won. You can't say that unless he wins a title with JTE.
Titles aside, in regards to the gameplay, is JTE Roka's best teammate?
No. Damn is.
Okay, sure, but like if they would have eclipsed the mountain that was Danger Zone,
then you can have that argument. I'm not
about to argue it by any means. I just thought it'd be a fair question.
You always want to argue, Chris.
Of course I do, but that's how this whole show started. That's the spine of the show. But Roka, his win against Liz speaks more to me than it obviously does to you, Shug. Because I mean, Liz was one of the golden eggs of this year. We're like, oh shit, like that's a victory, like that's a win. When Sam signed her free agency, like, oh damn, that's it, game over. Her, Ethan, and McWeenie, oh my god. But look at the suspects now, like at least the top of the suspects. So it's like, and Roka beating Liz, beating what could be a part of the future of this league, or the old guard is still proving that they can play against the present. Like, I think Roka should not be getting as much flack as he is in the fan base, but at the same time, everybody has an opinion. It's John Roka, and if anyone has an opinion, it's John Roka. So I'm not gonna die on the hill for any potential John Roka slander, because my man definitely.
Now, if it's Bateman, you will.
If it's Bateman, then hell yeah! And you see how my man played, like, and I don't want to hear any. They've got movie release dates again. If you had your chance to get your strength, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Come on, like I don't want any.
It's like Toby Barkwell landing on Star Wars.
Right. It's like in OG Season 1 RTS, our own movie trivia fan league here on Watt Real Entertainment. More info on that coming soon. But like, if you get the chance to get your strength, you're gonna freaking play it. And I'm sorry.
No, that's not how it works. Chris, that's not how it works. You're not supposed to take your strength.
Apparently, because like, they want everyone to be challenged. It's a game. Yeah. It's strategy, and you're gonna tell like the Strat Master General in the movie trivia Schmodown, Ben Bateman.
This is what Chris sounds like to me right now.
Motherfucking titty sucking.
No, cursing.
The family show.
Family show.
What? I didn't realize.
That's what Chris and I are like. Soul sucked is the line. That is the line. We do not cross it.
Soul sucking is the line.
That's my bad.
And maybe
it was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
No, I thought no F words. What is going on? If I can't say the F word, I don't want freaking y'all's computer saying the F word.
Shit.
This is just over the line. That's over the line.
Right, Matt condemned me for my 1. That was really 3, but you catch.
Well, no, I said it because I knew you said it a few before that. I was like, yeah.
I don't want to hear any Ben Bateman slander. Danger Zone's where the party's at right now. But I think this is an appropriate place to talk about the news that we got on Friday, right? To coincide with the pay-per-view. So the pay-per-view, we'll talk about those matches in a minute. But the future of the Odd Couple was in question, which is something I didn't know. Was I kept out of the loop on this?
Yeah, because Christian talked about it when they first had to Grace talked about it when they first had to push back the match.
Okay, so I must have missed that cutscene because this
it wasn't a cutscene. It was a post.
Oh, see again, and I missed that. So that's even worse. That's a Facebook.
Yeah, I know. You're such a good podcaster.
Right. We're gonna attack my credibility as a talker to a microphone.
I think we might be going into a two-host show very soon.
All right, do it then. Do the damn thing. But freaking you soul suckers. But the thing with this news, so I didn't know this was a thing. That I just caught me off guard, and I'm sorry if I don't keep track of all of Grace's posts. I'm too busy praising her and other ones, so other people are giving her flack. But we got news that Mark Andreyko won half of the current tag team champions.
Oh, snap. Hold on.
Oh, great.
I just went on Facebook to find the post, and Christian Harloff Grace Schmodown is now back to Christian Harloff.
Oh, that's okay. Are we going to try to read between the lines with that?
I don't know.
I
haven't watched today's patron match, so maybe there's a scene in there.
Maybe. Okay. Because
I'm not allowed to tell you guys anything because you all cry about it when I say something.
Oh, because you watched the match, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
But we got confirmation.
It doesn't change my picks or anything, but yeah.
Okay, I trust you. I trust you. Now, if Matt said that, I wouldn't trust him, but I trust you, Sugar. But we got confirmation that the android, Mark Andreyko, one half of the tag champions, is taking the leave. He's retiring. And that means that the Odd Couple are vacating the belts. So, damn. What was y'all's first reaction to that?
Well, first off, for the simple fact that Mark Andreyko is retiring, it sucks. I know, like we've talked about before, and this is what I appreciate about him. If you don't have the time, let other opportunities for other people. And that's what he said. I'm not going to gum up the tag titles because I have things to do. So I respect him for that. And he said he's not retiring for good. He's just for now
he's taking a leave.
Yeah, so I'm excited to have him back. It sucks for Jeff because Jeff worked so hard last year to get those titles. So I definitely feel for him. And I feel for Roxy. Let's be honest here. She got them to a championship, and now they have to either give them up or we will see what happens. If you watch the Patreon match, there's something that happens in there. So it kind of sucks, but Mark has been a staple and a pillar of the Schmodown. And
I found the post, so I'm about to share it.
Oh, sure. The OG one Okay, where let me see.
April 25th. Roxy Stryer has informed me that the Odd Couple will not be able to defend the titles on Friday due to scheduling. So, this is what I told her. The titles will be defended on a card in May, and if the Odd Couple are not able to defend, they will be stripped of the titles. New undercard for Damon Kalinowski will be announced this week.
Okay. And now we got the official word that the belts are being stripped. And should finish what you're saying.
No, and it sucks for Roxy because she got him to a championship match, and this is hard, but we'll see what happens, and hopefully Mark can come back because he deserves to be in the league, and we love having him here. This opens a lot of avenues for different teams, people next in line, things like that. And like I said, if you watch the Patreon match, you're going to see a scene that has to deal with this. So we'll have to kind of wait till next week to kind of talk about this because it spoils it if I talk about it. So
totally. Yeah, we'll
yeah, not a good Friday for the Stars.
Yeah, we'll chat about what we'll definitely, especially if there's something in the scene for today's match. We'll definitely hit this again tomorrow or next week. So we'll keep this discussion brief. But Matt, what did you think of when you saw the stripping of the titles for the Odd Couple?
I wasn't surprised because I heard some stuff behind the scenes that Andreyko's got a lot going on, so there's a good chance it would happen. So when I saw the clip, I'm like, it sucks. I'm not surprised, but it sucks because I know one of the single matches from earlier this year was supposed to be an Andreyko match, and it got changed because of his schedule. So when I know you've already had to change twice, that third time looks a lot more likely to me.
Right. and we talk about this a lot on the show, or at least I like to think so, where these people are human. Like the Schmodown isn't their top priority, you know. And Mark Andreyko, he's always been a busy guy, and when I've always right, and I've always loved watching Mark in the Schmodown. Like he's always been one of my favorites to watch. Like he just has this charisma that he brings to matches, and he's so quick to snap on somebody. Or even the stuff he's been doing with the Odd Couple, right? And Matt, we got to see them in Chicago, and like you're Matt, Jeff and Mark, they complemented each other so well, and obviously look at the success they've had. And it did suck when I heard the news. It was a bummer. It sucked. I understand that we can't expect all these folks to dedicate all this time, and that's what scares me when I see my favorite people getting all these big breaks in their career. I'm like, wait, no, like that means you can't do this, you know?
I mean, let's look past kayfabe. This isn't the first time someone's had to take a break from the Schmodown. The Andrew Ghai suspension for months was because he had a gig. He got a gig.
Right, he got a job, and I'm like, and I was bummed then, and I'll forever be bummed about my favorite people leaving. So.
And even early this season, everyone knew Winston got a gig. They didn't know it was temporary, but Christian's like, let's play into this, make them fear that Winston's going somewhere.
Like that, and I obviously like a lot of these folks are actors, and like it's just what happens. But once we all see the scene, because Suge, I know, is just chomping at the bit to spoil that for us. But once we all see it and we get a grasp on it, next week we'll return to this conversation. The one thing I will say, I'll try to predict this before we talk about the actual matches from the show. The Stars need to make some type of move, in my opinion, unless you pair up Bancroft and break up Blackjack. But are you willing to break up Blackjack?
If I remember correctly, the rules, you're not allowed to. They have to lose 2 in a row.
Okay, so then you got some. Who would you pair up with? Snyder from the Stars. Do you put Hannah with him? Like, I know. Do you trade somebody? I had this outlandish thought that I'm still not completely sold on.
Here's my thing. I'll say this. I don't, because Mark Andreyko hinted at it could be this season later this season he returns. Okay. So I think Roxy holds on to hope.
So she holds on to that spot?
Yeah.
Okay. So if he's just like DNP, like he's just not playing for a while, all right, great. I had this crazy ass thought yesterday, and I was thinking about this for the show. Like, what? Okay, I saw someone in the Facebook group. I'm sorry I didn't get your name, but it's not my thought. I will be the first person to say this. I'm not the first person to say this. What if Roxy seeks out a trade, and something that went through my brain? If Burkett loses to Gold Leader, can we entertain a Stars corruption trade? I know that that's already like we're breaking a bunch of character storyline walls, but Felix Morin is named to watch. We haven't
seen him yet this season, so it's a good thought.
A thought in my brain was a trade involving the names of Burkett and Blunden from Corruption to Stars. And I'm saying that if Burkett loses his match with Gold Leader, like not if he wins, obviously Burkett has more to carry with him.
I would say no. I'm
just saying like a trade involving them. It doesn't have to be 1-for-1, but I was just entertaining the thought. I'm not committed to that by any means.
See, here's what I'll say. No, Shannon has 2 Star Wars players already. Sure, one
making a multi-person deal.
Yeah. But realistically, are any of those players entertained? Like you have
but
to. Roxy wouldn't take. Roxy probably wouldn't want to take back one of those Star Wars players because Sully is 1-3 currently.
Not doing so hot.
Yeah.
And then
this. You won't see Burkett's next match for another 2 weeks. We haven't seen Scrimshaw yet.
Right.
How's he going to fit in? Does Roxy want to take a chance on a player we haven't seen since since the tournament last year in June, a full year?
Right.
Like,
yeah, it was just a thought. Yeah. I'm not married to this. And King Khan was going on. Welcome back to your kingdom. I did see your thing from earlier. Yeah, just to acknowledge this for a minute. If that's the case, if y'all are the only ones that believed in her from the jump, then by all means, Obviously, I didn't know that.
Right.
I'm not tied to the exchange. Maybe Khan. We can holler at each other, Khan. You know what I mean? But if y'all are the only ones that bit, like it's working so far. At least besides the loss, it's working to an extent. I'm just like Khan. You're
We're
like
spitballing. It's part of our job. It's part of our job. Nope, we didn't know about you. It's part of what we do here. We have to, especially when we don't know everything. We aren't plugged into every single faction. We don't ask every single detail. We don't ask how all this happens. And we don't know completely how the sausage is made. So we have to ask these questions. It's stuff to think about.
And
I know how the sausage is made.
Okay. We're still talking about Schmodown, Sugar. I hope you know that. But I think
That's what she said.
My God, bless America. One more thing before we talk about the matches.
No, and we get that. That's just.
Oh no, and I didn't take it as that you were hating. I love you. You got to come to your kingdom. But I want to ask you guys before we do this. I was going to ask this Demolanta too to piggyback off the one I asked him. But how do y'all explain the Schmodown to somebody? Oh, and better question. How do y'all explain spinning from the reel to somebody? Or just like a Schmodown after, like, oh, I got a thing going on Monday. Oh, what is it? Like it's so this is movie trivia.
I'd say it's a podcast about a movie trivia league.
That's
literally what I said.
I always get the follow-up question. Like I feel like I always catch myself having to explain a Schmodown to somebody, and odds are that person doesn't watch wrestling, so they're even more confused.
Okay, I can actually tell you how I described the Schmodown because I had to write a paper on it.
Right? Yeah. Come on, paper. But Shug.
Wait, but why is Jeff trying to come in here to set us straight?
Jeff, who's
he's
Jeff?
trying to set the record
Jeffrey.
straight.
Well, Jeffrey. I'm sorry. I shorten names. The
King?
Yeah. I want a piece of that guy. No, I was playing. Jeff,
you want a piece of the King Khan?
I want a piece of the King Khan.
So literally,
that sounds weird.
That
definitely deserves a.
That's what she said.
Here's how I described it in my article. The Schmodown takes the idea of bar movie trivia and turns it up a notch by adding in the pageantry and showmanship of wrestling.
And then Spin from the Reel is the
Talks
review
about
show.
it.
Yeah. I had to explain Spin from the Reel to somebody over the weekend, and I told them of like not verbatim, but something around what you said, and even they were like, I'm like, you know what, just forget it. I like it. It is what it is.
See,
like,
if they don't like, I just say it covers movie trivia league. It's easier than being like, all right, so it covers a movie trivia league. This, and this. It's just like, nah.
Yeah,
if you can't accept the covers movie trivia league,
I just tell people I'm on a YouTube show with two brothers and we talk about shit. So
we just talk about stuff. But one of the stuffs we are going to talk about is Friday's pay-per-view, the actual matches, and we can start with the undercard.
We're barely getting into that. Good lord.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I was like, hey, I want to cut out meal slice of the week.
I might get handed some food and start eating. So be aware.
What's new? You've been eating all show. Come on. But
first off, Chris. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Marisol McKee and Janine the Machine. Their match really damn good. Really damn good.
Janine showed she belonged with this match. That's like people who even us, we've questioned her at times. She put it all out there.
Now I don't want to say she proves she belongs in this match because she's done that a minute ago.
I'm just saying this is the match to silence the rest of the doubters.
Anyone that was like, oh, like Janine is like, Janine's not good or she's overrated, whatever the hell, or the folks that thought she was gonna get stomped.
Yeah, I can't believe Matt said that. It's
you
right.
What a jerk. But not only is Marisol's she's a killer, dude. Like I know I talked about Marisol earlier, so I'll keep my thoughts on Marisol brief. Like she's a killer, and now she's facing Kevin Smith. I cannot wait to see that. I think that's gonna be nuts and big platform, big stage, and damn Marisol, she's one of the best going right now. She's one of the best.
Marisol, Chris wants to marry you.
Jesus Christ! Can you stop it? Don't no. Matt, don't listen.
Are we shipping that?
Oh my God!
Chris and Marisol?
Stop. I will hit end broadcast right now. So,
hey, you're doing me a
Janine.
favor because I gotta go eat dinner.
Janine did really, really well in her match, and I think it's the Roxy Stryer part of this. Maybe Janine just had bad luck with who she's aligned herself with in the past, to the point where she's been like the people have been questioning her, you know.
No,
but
I can't say that. I think people more so question her because everyone last year called her the steal of the draft. Everyone did. I just think with how she performed under Sam, that was the issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Roxy,
my point is, Jay was able to get the goods out of Janine. Jay was like, I'm not gonna sit here and like, oh, it's always been said. No, because Jay did a very good job with Janine. She just got under the right management again because Jay is a great manager.
What's
He's
her
a great
record?
commissioner. Yeah, I'm on the site, so let me.
I think she should be.
Pulled up on the side.
If she's won her last two, she should be 5-8, I believe.
Because I think with what she's doing with Roxy now, I know she wasn't the best in that blackjack match, but this match with Marisol, like when she got her second crack at Marisol, she was out here killing. She killed her second round. Obviously, was killing in her first round, and she stumbled at the end. But it's a competitive match. Sugar, you're saying earlier, like some of the best Showdown matches are the ones that go to fives. You know, like it goes the distance. And Leo Logan in the chat confirming it. She's 5-7 in singles. Thank you, Leo Logan. The encyclopedia.
Was I right? Did I say 4?
You said 5-8.
Okay, so I was off by 1. Thank you, Leo.
Right.
Leo. And Leo's man. That guy's a encyclopedia.
He's my best friend. The encyclopedia.
God damn it, Chris! Not everyone can be your best friend. Stop with that.
Okay, do I have to pick one? It's Leo.
And she's 7-9 overall.
Word. Okay, so it's 2-2 in teams. Okay, or in Inner Geekdom as well.
Correction. She is 7-11 in all.
Word. Okay, cool. So Janine, if she proved anything, not that she proved that she can hang in this league. Like it's that she had an off year. She's been off for a little bit, but put her in a match like this against Marisol, where Marisol's going to you have to bring your best in order to beat somebody like her. And Janine, she did not go down without a fight. She was swinging to the very end. Like Janine, she stumbled here, but in a singles tournament down the line, she can do some damage. See that too. Performances like that, you beat some of the other folks that have competed this year. In those other matches, granted, this wasn't as high stakes.
Gratis.
Yeah, I mean, look at the numbers, dude. But maybe who knows? Like you can't argue that, Matt.
I didn't.
Like,
I didn't. I just said yeah. I was like,
you looked at my man like he was cursing your God.
He looked at me like I spit in his eggs.
Begrudgingly, yes, is what it was.
Like there are a lot of folks who don't reach that threshold that Janine did against Marisol. And again, maybe it's Marisol bringing the best out of her. And the importance of that match, two women of color, like how Dimalanta was saying, 2 women of color doing that they can kill it or prove that they can kill it in movie trivia. It's not just middle-aged white guys answering questions like how it was for a while. So I love that match. That was a really damn good match. To me, like my heart was taken by the second one, so that's where my mind went. But with Marisol and Janine, I can't wait to see what Janine does going forward, but Marisol, damn, she's good. Damn, she's good.
Yeah, Chris, she's good. You put a little extra good in when you say that, man. You got a little crush?
I didn't say nothing.
You started it.
Over there?
Oh my god. Yeah, leave
that. I've never seen a black guy blush the way you do.
Can we talk Schmodown for the love of God?
Oh.
No, that's not why.
No, I 100% agree with you, Chris. I think Janine deserves a lot of respect. She played her heart out in this game, and I don't think it's a combination of. I think it's a combination of playing with Roxy and she's building her up. Look, I've talked to Rachel Substrini and Janine, and Janine said if she could just get her over her third round issues, she'd be a great player. Realistically, she could have beat some of the best. So it just comes down to she just has to do a little bit more prep, a little more studying, and I think she'll get there. There's no shape or way or form takes anything away from her. I think it actually helps her out because a lot of people are going to respect her now. And so I think you come away from this match, you come away from having more respect for Janine, but also to now really understanding that Marisol is a top tier competitor, and you can't take that away from her. It's gonna be interesting to see how she plays Kevin Smith, and it's gonna be interesting to see if she gets past that, where she goes from there. But I think that Marisol is the real deal. Shannon has her back. She has Coyote backing her up, and there's people are taking notice of Marisol. There were some things said on other shows from people about Marisol, and I think people are taking notice of how good she is, and they're being a little bit, I think, threatened by that. And I think that she's the real deal, and I think she's going to come out, and I think she's going to prove that she's going to be in this league for a while, and she's starting to open up more. She talked about it with us. She's a very shy person. The personality's open up. The knowledge is there. So I'm super excited. Yeah, Chris, you should be absolutely flattered, man. Look at you
too, man.
Look how fly you look right now, man. You look pretty good. Looking like Kid and Play. The hair, you gotta go fix your
He
hair.
doesn't look like Kid. He doesn't look like Play. He looks
whatever.
Like Kid.
I haven't watched that movie since I was a kid. Okay, so I don't remember who's
HBO
Kid
Max right now. Go watch it. Black Cinema.
I don't know who's who. Okay, he kind of looks like
plays the dark skin one with plays the dark skin one.
But he kind of looks like Cuba Gooding Jr. in Boys in the Hood right now.
No, he does not.
Yeah, he does because Cuban had the flat top. He had the flat.
That's just hating because he said I look like Cuba Gooding Jr. That's why.
Yeah, why are you hating, Matt?
Because if he looks like Cuba Gooding Jr., then he looks like my son, bitch.
What? You're gonna.
But now you can cuss. Yeah, now you can cuss.
So you can say the B word. Do I get one now?
Hey, I have. That was my first curse of the entire episode. Yeah. You hush.
Shut up, bitch. Like that. So yes, Marisol. That match with Kevin.
I don't want to play the sound while you say Marisol.
Don't stop it. You had enough. But I can't really see how she plays against Kevin Smith. What'd you get, Shug? Let me see. Oh, guess that's all. Oh, it's good. Got a little pepper on the side. Let's talk about the main event. while Shug chomps down.
Yes. If Chris is Trey, I'm furious. Let's go.
So, Inner Geekdom Championship match. Mike Kalinowski, the challenger, facing off against Mark Knopik, the champion. This match, highly touted. Talk about great story with this match. This had a lot of weight to it going into this. Obviously, their established history, them being buddies, them not talking to each other for a long time, the game getting the best of the both of them in regards to their personal relationship. And now here they are, they're buddies, and now they're going into this thing on two factions who have two different stories this year. Mike Kalinowski on Corruption not doing they weren't doing the best for majority of the season, but now they're slowly picking up momentum again going into this match, especially with that Marisol win. And then you have Mark Knopik. Right, and with Mark Knopik, she took a leave of absence for a little bit. She came back, won the damn belt off of Chandru Dandapani. Where you at, Chandru? Where you at, Bubba? And then now she's going into this with
this is not updated yet, but I'll pull up the faction standings.
Cool. And then she faces off against Mike Kalinowski, and then this is not the update. This is going into last week.
This is going into Friday.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, I mean, I think what they're doing is they're not putting the live event match points up there.
Okay, that would I think that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but you look at it, that was 9 points they got. So Corruption jumped to a tie for second or tie for third. And can I just say, this with that win, that was big because that kept Dungeon from gaining another 8 points.
Mm-hmm.
So if they had gained that extra 8, that might have really put like another nail in the coffin of this is the Dungeon season. Now The dungeon only has Dan Murrell with a belt.
Mhm.
If Danger Zone loses to Corruption, there's more. Corruption jumps up to singularly in third. MTS, thank you.
Thank you, Corey. Corey, the unofficial fourth person of Spin from the Reel.
Yeah, we still got to get him on.
Right. And I haven't forgot about Ghost, Corey. I haven't forgot I was talking about it yesterday. But okay. Is this the part of the show where you finally acknowledge Mike Kalinowski being the greatest of all time in Interdictum?
I'm never going to acknowledge that.
Why? Why? He's a 3-time champion. What do you do? Why not? He's the greatest of all time in Intergeekdom, bro. He's the GOAT. Mike Kalinowski with a statement win. Statement win against Mara Kanapik. Mara had one big stumble, and that was in her betting round. She stumbled. Like, she didn't... all it boiled down to was not betting enough points. And, okay, here we go. Corruption. And are they in third because they have more wins? I think
Yes.
that's the assumption. Word.
Yes.
Okay.
More wins and less losses.
That too. Hell yeah. So Corruption, but that 40-point dungeon, Jesus. Like that. Yo, defending your belt, guys. Big deal in the Schmodown this year.
Or winning a belt. Defending
winning a
or
belt.
winning.
Right. You gotta jeez, man, them points.
But that's my point. If they had won that match, then it's 48, and the next closest team is 26.
That's nuts.
So, like, as much as I'm not a Corruption fan like you, I was happy to see Mike win that.
Yeah, you already know. It was a great night to be Corrupt. One hell of an evening. I love it.
Because you saw me last week. I harped on the point system a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the point system.
Like,
It's how many points on championship matches are worth.
It's how many points the championship matches are worth. And ultimately, I'm being the sports guy that I am.
Mhm.
I'm more of a standings guy. Like that's just like, look at it. The top 3 teams actually represent standings. Because you have all you do is switch Finstock Exchange and Dungeon around. You switch the Mercs and the Den around, and after that, it's just 2 flips, boom, and it would be proper. So I feel like, and this sucks because I do love the point system, but I have certain issues with it. I don't feel like championship matches and defenses should be worth. Here, for example, it's 7 points if you win. That is, in singles, that's 2.5 matches.
Mhm.
Or excuse me, that's 3.5 matches in singles.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on the time of year and what.
And well, we don't know if we're going to get extra points in tournament. That last year they added that because of all the time we had lost.
Yeah, and this year they should.
They're not losing time. This year they're not losing time, but. Like, Corruption was able to make a big jump, so it's like, yes, cool, we got someone who's now back up in it, but at the same time, what if Corruption had lost? Then you have a freaking 22-point gap between first place and the next best team.
Yeah, I'm. Don't get me wrong, I don't disagree with you on that front. I think title matches. Granted, we're getting more of them this year, which is really cool.
Yes.
But it is a lot. Like, say Mara did win hypothetically, that's a lot of points, and
it's harder to come back from, especially if you're not getting into the you. Realistically, what this season's pointing out is you can have possibly the best overall team record, and probably be in the middle of points.
Yeah, because it depends on what kind of matches you won.
Exactly.
And that I'm rocking with you on that.
But that's the thing though, Matt. Last year, having the belts did not matter.
Here, Shug, if you make
this year, it matters having the belts.
It does, but if you make a title match 5 points and then 6 if it's a defense, that's 2.5 regular wins rather than 3.5. Or in the case of IG or Star Wars, yes, 7 works because that is 2.5 wins.
Right.
But singles, you need to bring that down a bit.
I'm in the camp. I'm with if Christian or I mean, apparently got his Facebook back. Whoever the hell's in charge next year, if they change the points to what you're saying, I won't be surprised, and it'll be welcome. It'll be a welcome change. I think that when we first got the points announcement and we came on the show and talked about it, I forget when that was, but it was
back in January. It was a while ago.
Right, it might have been even sooner than that, or later than that, like December, like late December post.
Sooner would have been the word. You had it right the first time.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know time anymore. It's already June. It's almost June. But I'm over here like, yo, what the? Yeah, there's a lot of Schmodown left. We're almost at June. We have half the season, more than half the year to go. But yo, that's a lot of points getting thrown around. A lot of points getting thrown around.
And that's what I said. If Dungeon had won that, 22 is a much larger number to come back from.
Right. But I think we're losing track of what truly is important here in regards to those point stuff. Mike Kalinowski is the greatest Intergeekdom player of all time.
Rachel Cushing.
No.
Did you not? Wait,
No!
Did you not choose him though?
Okay. Let me confront that right now. So,
What did you choose?
I chose
Mara.
I chose Mara.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Leo. That I kind of had an issue with that. That Chris had an issue with. Shug had an issue with that 5-pointer. Chris kind of had an issue. Chris and I both had an issue with Taylor's 5-pointer.
Mm-hmm.
But Son of the Mask,
Taylor doesn't play the Schmodown.
Taylor Robinson.
Okay.
Taylor Cliche is the raging, bro. He's just.
I just want to keep you on your toes.
Son of the Mask, like. Here's the thing. After that match, I went into the cast list. The character of Odin is so far down in that cast list. It's not like you know it.
Right.
But that's what a 5-pointer should be, though.
No, 5-pointers should be guessable. My point is, it's not even in the top 5, not even in the top 10 of the cast list.
Dude, this is the third time we're gonna have this discussion, and I'm gonna keep my thoughts at this. It's subjective. Now, moving on to what's important. Mike Kalinowski, yes, I chose against him last week. Let's also keep in mind how awful a week I had. It was a pretty atrocious week. I backed the exchange the whole week. Was I under the influence last week? I think I was, looking back at it, because I was real un-Chris-like in my predictions. And usually I go with my gut or I go with my faves. And here we go.
I just want to bring this up.
This is how bitter Matt is, because he didn't do this last 2 times with the conversation we had.
I say this because you look at the primary cast list. The character of Odin isn't even on it.
And that's, again, man, like it's rough. It's rough talking about 5s, and I don't want to have this conversation literally for the third time in the show. But I'm in the camp where, like, I've been saying Mike's the best Intergeekdom player before this match on this show. Matt as my witness.
But you didn't pick him.
Shug. I had an off week.
That's all that matters. You didn't pick him.
No.
Right. Oh, we're just gonna. Oh, so this is.
Yeah. You didn't pick him.
What the hell does that mean? What does that mean?
You don't get to boast. You don't get to boast.
I don't get to boast. What are you talking about? Don't get to boast.
No.
What does that mean?
Shug picked them. Shug gets to ride the high horse.
I think with
whoa. Did you just drop Shug?
So with what I think with look, so what I'm saying, guys, is that
you don't get to drop anyone, especially when you get on me for dropping people.
Oh God! So you drop me 1,000,000 times, and I do it once.
Twice.
Shut up! Once or twice. Shut up! I don't want to hear anything from the both of y'all. Y'all out here doing your thing, and Sugar out here stuffing his face, and you're over here like, you better drop me once. Shut up! I don't want to hear this thing. Last week with Mark Knoppick and Mike Kalinowski, obviously 2 killers in Intergeekdom. Mark gave me more than enough reason to pick her. More than enough. And Matt, you'd be the first goddamn person to be like, oh, but Mark broke the Intergeekdom record. She's a little thing. But no, I pick against Mike once. Because I have more than enough reason to do so. And y'all over here like, oh, you can't talk about Mike. I'm the resident corruption shill. That's been my whole damn gimmick this whole damn time. Like, and now I'm over here getting flack for it. Shut up, both of y'all.
Can Can I respond?
Go, please.
It's fun getting
What
into
you
this.
just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Have you not heard anything you said in the last 2 hours and 20 minutes?
Response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought? Everyone in this room
How
is now
long has this
dumber
sound
for
been?
having listened to
This
it.
isn't even funny
I
anymore.
award you no
It's going on for
points,
so long.
and may God have mercy on your soul.
How are you gonna end it with bringing God into this? Like, I don't know why you picked such a long ass freaking audio bit.
He's muted, Chris. He's muted, Chris.
Why you mute me?
As I was saying, Mike Kalinowski is the best Inner Geekdom player of all time. And with this win, it solidifies that. Mara Kanopic is Chris doing character work right now? No, this is me. This is me. I am speaking my own brain. I'm not speaking. The only character here is freaking Shook Soundboard. That's the only character that's here. But with me and my thoughts on Mike.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
I believe that Mara said it in her post interview. Mike's the best Inner Geekdom player of all time, herself included. Now, if she wins the belt again, which she has a great chance at doing, then we can revisit this discussion. But number of belts, that I think we can start talking about GOATs when the number of belts start getting brought up. Like Dan is out here carrying 5 singles belts. That's wild. He had this great diss against Roka. It's like, oh, I'm out here. I got a belt for every finger. Like that's nuts. And y'all irritate the hell out of me.
I'm just saying, Chris. You keep saying that Mike's the best ever, but yet you didn't pick him.
Chris, it's just fun to get. It's because the one time you pick against corruption. It's just fun to mess with you, bud.
This is my last spin from the reel.
You've been saying that every week,
and every week I mean it even more. with what transpired on Friday, it solidified Mike being the greatest of all time in Inner Geekdom. It did. And if Mara would have won one hell of a defense, that's great. She would have.
Taylor needs to calm that down, clowns.
What?
Your agent's your client's a clown.
King, you'd be running.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna hang out with you more while you play your Resident Evil, okay?
With those,
I was hanging out with you, making sure you wouldn't get scared, and you're gonna call me a clown now? Oh,
see, like if anyone gets me, it's Taylor, for the love of God. And like I may not be the biggest fan of that Rager guy he represents, but I think like Taylor's on to something.
Get back here, hey, I'm diabetic, Taylor. I need to eat. Okay, my blood sugar.
Yo, why we don't gotta. So, Mara and Mike had a great match.
They had a great match.
Probably
Chris picked Mara.
Shug, I can't wait till I go. Like, I can't wait till we when I properly meet you and we hug and I just stab you in the back. That's how I feel right now. Like you stabbed me. I
have a great joke. I had a great joke for that right now, but if it came out, it would be so bad. So I'm not gonna say it.
And it's even worse that you alluded to that joke without saying it, because not everyone at home's thinking to themselves, what could he possibly say? And that's if this is oh my Lord and Savior. Taylor, click in the chat. Thanks for hanging out on Twitch. See now that's
yeah, no, I love hanging out with Taylor. Taylor's awesome, and he was playing Resident Evil, which was a scary game, and we had a good time.
Yes.
But we're not going to move away from this point, Chris. If Mike Kalinowski is so great, why did you pick Mara?
Mara had just broken the Inner Geekdom record for points, and she damn near she almost eclipsed 40. Mara gave me more than enough reason. I believe I would stand by my. In hindsight, I would stand by my pick. I had more than enough reason to pick Mara. Mara is the second best Inner Geekdom player of all time, in my opinion, behind Mike Kalinowski. But I was riding the wave of Mara Kanopic to my own chagrin. I'll be the first person to admit that. I was riding the wave. I bought the hype. I hitched my car to the bandwagon and momentarily forgot that corruption is sending me checks. I mean, corruption is my favorite faction, and they are.
Well,
where
we
the
know
party's
that.
at.
We know they're not sending you money because you would have a better camera. Okay, so
And Suge, I swear to God, if you cook me one more time, like my man was asleep after Demolanta left, and he got some food. Now his diabetes woke him up, and so like
my diabetes kicked in.
like
my diabetes.
Look,
no, Chris, don't talk about my diabetes like that.
Look, yo, you brought it up first. You're out here for going. So we need to cool it on all fronts. But my pick aside, and my allegiance aside, Suge, what did you think of the main event on Friday?
It was a great match. Look at I hope, and this is just being straight up, I hope Mara's not going through a health issue. That took away from her ability to play. We all know things like that happen. It happened with Kevin Smits. He just found out he was diagnosed, played that match. Mm-hmm. And you can tell, and like you almost look at that match now with Chandru and kind of
see something's not right.
In retrospective,
yeah,
it's hard to watch.
In retrospective, you don't. Yeah, and Chandru. Don't get me wrong. He won the belt fair and square. But you look at the match, you kind of tilt your head like, This I hope this isn't the same issue. I hope just Mike was that good and Mara just was off.
And it's not the first time I would have had that issue. Let's keep that in mind.
But what I hope is like if she plays in the next tournament for the IG, then I know that we're okay. I'm okay.
She was making it sound like she was making it sound like it, or she was making
but
her intentions.
But if she doesn't play, play the rest of the year, it kind of takes away from the win for me, personally. That's just me, though.
No, and I like to think that, and I don't know, we don't know these people, like we don't know what they're going through in their real lives. And it's like when Smets played Chandru, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Chandru just beat the hell out of Smets," and we didn't know the ramification or what Kevin was going through in his real life. And if Mara has no obligation to tell us anything about her at all. Like we're lucky enough that we get someone like Mara Kanopik in the Schmodown. So she was making it sound like she had every intention, and Kaiser was taking a lot of blame again in his post interview with the match with Mara. The deciding factor was her betting round. That's what decided or at least that's what the loss was attributed to. That's the word, you know what I mean. With the match, because he bet 3, he shot a shot, and Mara only went for 1, being conservative. Yeah. And she mentioned Dan betting 0 before and still winning. Perfectly valid argument. Mm-hmm. But in a match like this, especially when your opponent goes up on you like that,
is
right, especially with who you're playing, it's in that division. Like,
and they beat you before. That's the other thing. That's why I question the move, because I'm like, he's beaten you before, and you know it's his strength. You can't play conservative when you know it's his strength. That was my big issue there.
Right.
Because I sat there, I'm like, if it weren't what we knew was his strength, I understand going conservative. You know he's probably betting 3. It's his strength.
Right.
With that in mind, you bet 3. You hope you know the question, which she did, and it's a totally different ballgame. I sat there, I heard the question, I said, "Oh, whiskey," because I love that scene. Like, that's one of the better scenes in Justice League. It's whiskey on him, takes the bottle. Like, it's just, it hurt because I'm like, when I saw she bet 1, I'm like, oh no, that's probably the match right here.
And little did we know, like what Leo was saying earlier, her 5 didn't help her either. Mm-hmm. That 5 was awfully rough, and it's the game is what screwed Mara. It's not that Mike knew more than her; it's the game that screwed her.
Yeah,
and that 5 was the
because here's the thing. Go and I'll say this: when you're farther away in points as the person in the lead and going into a speed round, you're gonna play with a little bit more confidence because you're like, okay, I might have one or two. I got like a miss, and if I miss one, it's not going to hurt me as much as if I'm only up one. He would have only been up one had she bet 3.
No, 1,000%. And that's the strat of the game, you know? Like it's the game screwing her and not really her knowledge. Obviously, Mara knows a lot about inner geekdom movies. She was the damn champ. She's the record holder for points in a match. She knows her stuff. It's a tough 5, an awfully tough 5, and the game screwing her in the 3rd round. And in a crucial betting round that screwed many folk before. Like that betting round is awfully crucial right before this new fast money speed round. So it's rough. It's hard to watch too, but at the same time, Mara was still confident in her loss. Like her post game, it sucked. It was on her birthday that all this happened, but she was confident. She expressed interest in just playing more inner geekdom and really whooping the league's ass. And let's be frank, we talked about this before on the show. Inner geekdom, like it's not like Star Wars where everybody's out here going perfect every single match or damn near or damn close. Inner geekdom, there's like a top
more leeway to
there's an leeway. Yeah. And Mara still like on any given that match could have been played the next day. Or if you flip their 3rd round questions, Mara probably wins that son of a bitch, you know? And we're having a whole different conversation. So who the hell knows? But Mara is still one of the best inner geekdom players working right now and ever. So I want to see more of her. And Suge, I hope, and I don't think I ever say this on the show, but Suge, I hope you're wrong in regards to why you think or how you think the circumstances.
Yeah, and I hope so too. I hope you're wrong. I hope so too.
Well,
I hope
also this. She seemed the healthiest we'd seen her in a while in that match.
Yeah, but we do know she has health
Right.
issues, and that's the thing that sucks. You want to see her at full strength. And speaking of health issues, I have to take my medicine, so it's a shot glass. Look at medicine. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Like I like you taking a shot glass. Like, is there? I have so many questions. We'll talk about that later. But I know, like my feelings for my feelings about the corruption and all that stuff aside, this match I didn't want to say this earlier when Matt, when you asked me for my favorite match of this year because of recency bias, even though I did end up saying I said a different Marisol match, but like these past 2 matches, this probably was the best pay-per-view sans free-for-all of the year, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I'm a corruption thing aside, but the match quality and what we got over this, I think this might be my favorite.
For me, best pay-per-view probably would go to the first one of the year.
Oh, Kelly, Damon, Dandapani, and Konopik, and that's another really good one. Like there aren't, I don't think there's a bad option. All these throwdowns versus battlefields,
which by the way, aren't versus just supposed to be 1-on-1? I was shocked we had an undercard.
I mean, that's what we're taught right over the last few weeks or over the last few months, really. Like versus is 1, but hey, they did 2. It's their rules. Grace can do whatever she wants. But I know, Suge, you want to talk about Andrew Ghai for a minute before we wrap?
I mean,
or do you just want to do predictions and say the guy for next week? Because I know.
I mean, are we talking about the cutscene, or are we talking about how he's throwing shade at people?
The shade.
The shade.
The cutscene rule.
Let's just do predictions, and maybe later on this week, Chris, we'll do a stereo and talk about I've been promising you stereo. I know I've been ignoring you, but that's what happens when you choose.
Suge only responds to my messages on Mondays.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, I send you Snapchats. Get out of here.
No, he'll be sending me cute ass Snapchats. He'll be like, "Send this to your best friend."
I love how Chris completely missed it.
What?
What?
When I said I only text people that don't pick Mara. Or pick Mara.
Yeah, I did miss that. I'm glad. I mean, I wish you didn't repeat it right now. And let the record show. Go back and watch the video last week. I said on the show, I hope someone picked Mike, and I was glad Suge picked Mike because I wanted one of us to.
Why does your voice crack when you get so excited?
Because y'all piss me off, and I'm a young man. That's why. You
are very young. You're only 23, right? You're only 23.
I'm only 3 years older. Don't even say I'm old as hell.
You old as hell, boy.
I could not wait to hang out with Chris, man. Me and him are gonna be him, and Buck with Matt, and Matt's gonna have to be our designated driver.
Matt will be our DD. Matt will be he'll be drunk before I will.
Yeah, Corey Cameron. Make sure to check out Corey Cameron's Stereo show. I know Stereo all of a sudden now because it,
promoting it.
ran out. Yeah,
Any given Schmo Day, baby, on Sundays.
Yeah, I still have it. Me and Chris have been having trouble because of personal reasons. No personal reasons. I just don't like him. We haven't done a show, but we'll get back to it. He's starting to get. He's not getting on my nerves as much. So.
Yo, Shug. That's like my trigger word, dude. Oh my god! But I was gonna say it earlier during your rant, but I said, dude, that would have set me off. I would have left. I would have left the show. I would have been so hot. You already got me hot, and then Sugar's like, Chris, you're getting on my nerves. I
love how Jeff was like, "Is Chris doing character?" Well, nope, Chris is not doing character.
No, that's me. It's me.
But that's what I love about Chris, though.
He got a short fuse.
So is Matt. That's what I love about it.
I don't get mad often, but when I do, I'm hot. Like I'm hot, boy. Like I don't like to get angry because I waste energy and time when I'm mad. But when I'm pissed, I'm pissed. Like
when you know what's weird, Chris? When I get angry, the Mexican comes out of me because I start saying a lot. I start saying homie a lot. Like it's really weird.
Yeah.
So you don't want to see that side of the show.
All right, so let's go to these predictions real quick, and I'll start it off with Ace versus Sean Sullivan. Sully, I love you. You and I talked back when this like a month or so ago, and you know how I feel. It's hard to pick against Ace here.
I mean, I think it's my first mention of it. Ace is a part of Homeboy and the Heartbreakers, and your boy does need some points. Ace, baby, come on. As someone who's also a Latino in the movie Trivia Showdown space, I gotta root for Ace by default. Ace Cabrera, baby.
Yeah, Ace Cabrera all day. He ran through the tournament last year. It's gonna be interesting to see what he can do now. But we'll get there, and super excited to see what he's gonna do, man. I'm a fan of his. That was my first ever interview. So, Ace Cabrera all day. Let's go. Latino. Upset City, homie. I mean, the Suns ain't going to beat the Lakers, but Upset City. Let's go.
All right. Chris, next match. Moose Haas versus Jacob Whitnaben.
Oh, my God. So it's two rookies. I know nothing about both of these guys. Oh, geez. Haas is with the exchange, right? Corey Cameron in chat. Dagan and I may be reaching out to you guys for a segment since we can have more than two people on at once. Can we? On stereo?
Oh, yeah. Now they can do it. Yeah. They just
added it. Yo, that's cool.
Well, definitely, yeah. Corey, definitely reach out to me, man. I'm always down to do it.
Holla. Yeah, man, you already know. And Corey, like I said, I haven't forgot about that Ghost Watch Along, dude. I've not forgotten about it. We'll do it.
Yeah, Logan says I have Whitnaben. Khan says Moose. Chris, how you feeling?
The exchange has had one hell of a year with rookies, and it's hard for me to pick against an exchange rookie. Plus, I saw the card, and he's booked as Moose Haas. I'm in. I'm in.
Shug, how about you?
I'm going with Moose. I think I haven't seen him when I interviewed Jacob. I think from what I remember, he was more of a Star Wars, but I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. It was a long day, but yeah.
I'm going Moose. I rarely bet against the exchange. I got Moose here. I've heard great things. He's supposed to be a 4-division player. That tells me all I need to know.
Unprecedented. Like that's some big shoes to fill, and I know they've been flexing that, but him in this, it's another exchange rookie. They've had a good track record so far. They're killing it, really.
All right. Next match is Paul Walter Hauser. His debut against Josh Horowitz.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, here I'll start. I'm feeling confident with this one. I was beyond impressed by Josh Horowitz in this first match. with Perry Nemiroff in the press room. Like I was really impressed by him. Paul Walter Hauser, I obviously hasn't played Schmodown yet, so he's a big question mark for me. I'm gonna pick Horowitz. Like I'm gonna rock with my man from MTV and from Comedy Central. I love what my man's doing, and people slept on him. And Leo Logan agreeing with me with Horowitz. I'm rocking with Josh over PWH, but I'm really looking forward to this. This is like the celebrity match. It's not a celebrity match because those don't exist anymore. But yeah, this should be dope. Seeing Horowitz and PWH.
Yeah, I got Horowitz. I got Horowitz.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, I got Horowitz in this too. I have an idea of what I'm getting in Horowitz. I don't know what I'm getting in PWH, so Horowitz is my pick.
It's a big question mark. And if PWH comes in and wrecks shop like how Kevin Smith did when he first popped in, then all right, cool. But I got Horowitz is incredibly impressive for his first match with Perry not too long ago. Now
here, we only get to pick one match right now for this because this is the pay-per-view.
Court Cameron, it's the Corella rollout match. Yeah, man, yeah.
Which, by the way, you can check out my thoughts on Cruella in 2 days. It's going to be up on this channel. I got to see it today. Really excited to talk about it. 2 days. Look for it Wednesday, my review on Cruella. And for tomorrow around noon, look for my review with Connor Breedlove himself for A Quiet Place Part 2. Just going to plug that now since we are talking about Cruella.
Word, yeah. It is really the Corella rollout match. I can't wait to see that movie, too.
And then we're going to do Corruption versus Danger Zone.
Here we go again.
Shug, you go first. Chris, you're last on this one.
Well, all I gotta say about that is,
you know it's hard out here for a bill. When he tryna get his money for the real. For the Cadillacs and gas money spent. Cause a whole lot of bitches talking shit. You know it's hard out here for a bill.
You get the whole song in there?
I got Corruption.
Woo! That's definitely not where I thought you were going with that. Yo,
I got Danger Zone. I'm. They proved they. Here's the thing: a team always takes a few matches to get through, and they had a hell of a gauntlet to get through to get to this match. So I have Danger Zone. And let's be fair. Mike's been pretty focused on IG. He had an IG title. Like there's a lot of other factors.
Yeah.
So I gotta go with Danger Zone, who have just singularly been focused on overall trivia, not just one.
And it's ask his teammate Chance Ellison. He proved to us last year that doing these multi-division matches within a short amount of time, it can really mess with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
Look at Alex Damon this year.
Yeah. Now these are two of my faves. Well, three of my favorite competitors are in this. Leo Logan has Danger Zone. I love Corruption. That's a sentence. I love Corruption.
Just remember the last time you picked against Mike Kalinowski.
Right. Actually, that's a good point.
And watch, he picks Mike this week.
I'm picking Danger Zone. With that logic, I want Mike to win. I want them to win. I hope. Did you pick Corruption? I hope you're right, Shug. I hope you're right. Yeah. Because at this point,
I'm always right.
I will come. Wait a minute. I will always come on this show, and I'll eat shit whenever I have to. But if it means my favorite competitors are winning, bro,
don't do that.
If they're winning,
I don't want you to eat shit.
Screw the predictions. If Kalinowski's out here going,
well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Yes, but
what's the standings, Matt?
The what?
The prediction standings.
The standings. So here, let me share my screen again.
No, not the standard prediction record.
That. I'm 41-10. Sugar's 24-15, and Chris is 34-17.
That's rough. Jesus.
Chris, you're literally batting 66%.
Nice. This is I stand by my pick and Danger Zone. I want Corruption to win. I'll go on record and say that. but with Homeboy and the Heartbreakers, Ben Bateman's he's the king of that. So I gotta rock with the king, baby. It's a fun week, a Schmodown.
Yeah,
it's a really fun week.
It is.
And by the way, before we wrap the show, if anything changes with that match, or if there's another match added, we'll do predictions on the Twitter. Follow us at Spin from the Reel down at the bottom. We'll if there's any amendments to that, we'll amend our picks as well if need be. If there's another match added,
we'll find out in this match, which we're probably going to go watch the cutscene after we.
So, can you confirm that?
I didn't really. I just watched the beginning and then the end. That's it. I didn't really go through it.
So there was no match announcement for Friday, no bonus match or anything. In regards to okay, so maybe we won't.
But Christian even said Grace would announce it on the Patreon match and the Wednesday match. What the decision for the pay-per-view Friday?
Then it's probably then it might be at the end of the thing, and I just didn't.
That's possible.
And the second that gets released to the public, we'll amend our picks if need be.
We'll add picks. We'll add
something. Yes.
Yeah.
That's if the matches will become a triple threat, which isn't going to happen. But you know what I mean. Like if something happens,
make sure to be here next Monday. We have another special guest. I'm super excited.
Yes.
Oh my God. We can say who the guest is.
Yes, we can. Yes.
So next Monday we have Lacey Gillerin coming on. Really excited to have her on.
Yeah.
Chris has been wanting to get her on since we started this.
Yo, she's part of Homeboy and the Heartbreakers. I love Lacey. We've seen her once this year, and it really bums me out. And I was rooting for her with the match against Gold Leader, but I want to see more Lacey Gillerin. So excited to have her on. And we could talk more Star Wars next week with Lacey. I can't wait.
It reminds me, I have an ad read because I forgot it on Real Talk yesterday, and I forgot it on Saturday because I was in a rush from coming home from my screening.
We'll go crazy.
But for those people who are in the Ohio area, there is a Special Wish Foundation. This is for the Cleveland branch. They are doing a Bob Ross experience. It's basically a paint and sip with nonprofits that grant wishes for children from birth up to 20 years old with life-threatening illnesses. It's $40 per ticket. And there's small appetizers and whatnot included. It's a 2-hour class taught by a Bob Ross certified artist. The price includes paint supplies, canvas, and perhaps most importantly, a Bob Ross wig to rock throughout the event. The event will be held, and I won't spare all those details, but it's via Special Wish Foundation. If you want to learn more about it, you can go to specialwishcleveland.org, and I'm pretty sure even if you're out of town and not from my area, you can go to a Special Wish and just donate in general, which would be appreciative. Just let them know that you heard about us or heard about them from Spin from the Reel. And so that's my little bit of an ad read. It's something because I'm not used to doing it for a while. Exactly, for the kids. For the kids,
baby. And wherever the rage is at, his heart just skipped a beat.
Yep.
For the kids, baby.
But
kids.
It's an ad read for charity, so it's like an ad read. First time we've ever really had to do an ad read here, so that's why it's slipped my mind the past couple of days. But this is my third day in a row streaming. Shit.
Streaming a lot on. There's a lot going on, man. We got a lot going on here on Watt. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like the video if you're watching after the fact. Thank you.
Really Scared on Thursday.
You already know.
With special guest George Thomas of the Akron Beacon Journal.
Yes.
We'll be talking about the Lost Boys. Friday. I know. If you and Nick decided on a day for this week, is it Wednesday?
Yes, we're going live on Wednesday for Wrestle Reel this week. We're doing another Wrestle Reel super show. We're doing unprecedented 5 counts like we did a couple weeks ago, but we're gonna do it again on Wednesday because some stuff came up on Friday on both of our ends. So we're doing it Wednesday.
Let's be honest, and this is just it. Chris and Nick deserve a Friday off.
No, we did take last Friday off. Granted, we were busy doing other things as well.
But a Friday to relax, because there are certain events y'all each want to do that's only take place on Friday. So you gotta
right. So I mean, it is what it is. We're doing Wrestle Reel on Wednesday Follow us on Twitter down at the bottom at WattMovies_Matt, at C Anthony Lopez, at Shug9323.
Did you miss my plug of Really Scared already?
Yo, yeah. Again, Really Scared Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central with Matt Thomas Sr. It's going to be a great time on Watt Real Entertainment. Connor Brelow, Taylor Click, again, Matt Thomas Sr., aka George Thomas, great guy. That's also my father. So it's gonna be a great time on Really Scared. But no, we have a lot of stuff going on here on Watt. Seriously.
And then Saturday, another Saber Reels. Like I mentioned already, Cruella review on Wednesday. A Quiet Place Part 2 review with myself and Connor Breedlove, one of the hosts of Really Scared, tomorrow at noon. That's dropping. Really excited for you to hear about that because we had a special guest at our screening and it was awesome. So
yeah, and I heard, and I was, and it was another classic Matt Thomas flex, and it was like checking off a bingo card. But no, seriously, we have a lot of stuff going on here on Watt Real Entertainment. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have a lot of great content here. We're on, or our boy Taylor Cleek, who's been in the chat hanging out the whole time. Thanks, Taylor. He's been streaming Resident Evil Village this whole last couple weeks.
And you can watch that on our Twitch, and you can watch the replays on our YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
he gets scared though. He gets really scared though playing that game. I don't know why.
Right, if he gets really scared playing that game, totally. But Taylor, you're handling it better than I would, dude. And I'm
you're handling it better than how Chris chose Mara.
Okay, so before Shug mentions my damn predictions again, thank you all so much for watching Spin from the Real this week. This is my last show. It's been a pleasure co-hosting.
Finally, Matt. Finally. Now we can both talk.
My ass ain't gonna say shit next week. I ain't saying a damn word the whole damn time. I was sitting here in silence.
You hear Chris about to say, Chris about to cuss me out right now. He's like,
I was sit like this the whole time.
When Shug goes in on corruption, you're just gonna be like,
I'm gonna talk to Lacey, and that's it. I'm only gonna talk to Lacey next week. That's it.
No, you're lying. Stop it.
Oh wait, okay, we'll see. We'll see on the show next week.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing.
We'll see. No, you fed that BS. No, I didn't say. You were instigating Shug the whole night. Let's get out of here. It's already late.
I did not instigate.
It's been 3 hours.
Let's go home.
All right, with that, remember, folks, Spin from the Real, not the pegs.